How about now? Thumbs up? Good? Really? I figured it out. I figured it out. Oh my God. When the moderators come in, we have to tell them about this. This is crazy. So, turns out, this was messing with us. This little thing here is a little chip that goes into the microphone, and it was overriding where it was going in. So now it all works. Now it all works. Cool. They can go down there. I'm so happy. What's going on, Larissa? We just worked out the sound. This is a great day. Before I get started, over on the table over there, I left my coffee. I'm going to grab that. Hello, Vin. Coffee, coffee, coffee. Now it's in my hands. Fantastic. It's nothing special. And we're going to get rid of my other coffee. This one here. That one there is a waste of time. And I'm kicking off with this work. I'm pretty excited too. A lot of colour, a lot of craziness going on in it, and our job is to try and get a little bit more of the likeness in there, get that dress a little more accurate while still doing wild strokes and getting more layers into the background. So in short, we're going to be chaotic, we're going to go everywhere, but every stroke we make isn't going to be foolishly gestural, it'll be purposeful in what it tries to represent. Will you have the ballerina print for sale? We absolutely will. Now, I photograph once a week, so I've already done the photographing this week, and that's where Alexander the Great came from. So probably mid next week I'll get it photographed, so it'll be up by Thursday or Friday. And honestly, I'm in love with that piece. I'm in love with it. It's going to get a black floating frame. So a space that much between the artwork and the rest of the world. Quite a thick black frame, and it's just going to isolate it. You were here for that stream? That's pretty fun. How are you? I'm doing well. I am doing so very well. Now, paint time. Paint time, but before I start painting, let's get our picture of choice up. It was so much fun, Larissa. I'm blown away by it. But the fun behind that is I woke up this yesterday morning not knowing that piece would be in existence. And since I didn't know it would be in existence, the result was, turn that off. It's distracting me. Hello, Jay Smith. Jay, I saw your message in the Discord, but I was about 5 minutes away from going live, so I just thought I'll just go for it. But I should have messaged you. That's on me. I saw the notification pop up. I don't know how to choose. I want... Well, Larissa, I've got some exciting news for you, because I'm going to do a little change. It's going to be wild. Probably should have done it to start with. Hey, Kristen. But the little change, cheers, Jay Smith. The little change we're going to make is that with the prints, at the moment, I'm offering 4 different kinds of limited edition prints. But once they're gone, they're gone. And so it's a real pity, because some of our favorite pieces like Mahalo, Aboriginal, Santa Fe, A City Different, what are the ones have gone? They're gone, and then you can still see them there, but you can't have them. It's like me showing you things, dangling things in front of you and being like, you can't have these, they're sold out. But I still want you to see the artwork. So here's my clever plan. My clever plan is, going forward from now, so Alexander the Great is going to be the last one that once it's sold out, it's sold out. Going forward from here, I'm going to have 2. 1 unlimited print, and then I think we're going to do about 10. I think it's going to be 10 limited prints. So only 10 of a larger limited version, and then a smaller unlimited version. And that way, the smaller one, since it's unlimited, it'll be cheaper, and it will mean that actually you won't get locked out of never having it. You'll just miss out on the limited ones. Unlimited, available forever. But there's going to be a special little cluster of them, which are rare. So if you're into rare collectible items, there'll be limited prints for you. But if you're into, I want the artwork for my wall, I don't care how many other people have it, I just want to appreciate the colours and the composition and the shapes, I've got the thing for you. So, anyway, going back to what we are doing. So you might find that to be more up your alley in terms of choosing one you like, because you'll be able to get 3 or 4 unlimited prints, whereas you'll only be able to get 1 limited one. So I thought that'd be fun. All right. Let's have a look-see here. Do I dare? I do. Thanks, Larissa. Honestly, I stay up at night and I think about these things, and I'm thinking non-stop, going like, what's the best way to do this? I don't feel like we're there yet, because I love the exclusivity of, if you buy a print, it's yours forever, and there won't be more of it. I do enjoy that, but how do you do that, but also give something to everyone as well? So probably the limited edition ones will be the 24 by 33 inch ones, so like quite large. They'll be limited edition, there'll only be a few of those, and then we'll have about half that size as unlimited. And they'll say on them like unlimited, so if you've got one of the special ones, you'll always know, like if you see another one around, you'll be like, but my one's special. Thanks, Caroline. Or Carolyn. Whichever one it is. Make sure I get it right. Okay. We're kicking off with titanium white. Well, it'll have 10 limited edition versions, all the same size. You get to pick your frame or no frame, it's up to you. 10 limited edition ones, and then there'll be unlimited ones. So unlimited is half the size, and it won't have a number on it. It'll just be the picture. So unlimited is like, hey, I love the picture, I just want to enjoy the picture, I don't want the rarity. So it'll always look beautiful. It's printed on the same paper, but it's smaller and it's not rare. Awkward laugh, my boy. I get told of an obnoxious laugh. I sound like Gastron from Beauty and the Beast. That it's a loud laugh, but I've never had awkward laugh. So, jeepers. Maybe it's just an awkward day. Maybe I'm getting awkward about prints. Maybe I'm just an awkward person. Maybe I'm awkward because I didn't put this lid on properly last night and now it won't screw on. A lot of reasons to be awkward. So, but even more reasons to laugh. Okay, let's stand back for a moment. That's fantastic. Hey, and keep an eye out. They'll be up Thursday or Friday next week. And keep an eye out. You won't need to worry too much, because like I say, they won't just sell out. There'll be the unlimited ones there, and there'll be the limited. So everyone will have a pocket for themselves. All right. Gold, spliced with white. Immediately, got a drop on myself. It's all right though, because it's just the mix. Give him a lion, a car, a boat. A lion, a car, and a boat? Or I think I'm missing that one there. Are you lying on a car while towing a boat? Or are you planning on giving me a line, a car and a boat? You can keep the line, car and boat. It's all good. I'm happy just hanging out with you here. But I'm excited you've got a line, a car and a boat that you're comfortable enough to give away. But it's not going to be my bread and butter, I don't think. Especially not the line thing. I don't think you're allowed to own those in New Zealand. You're going to get me into trouble. Trying to give me a line. Maybe that was the catch. She's like, I'm going to get this guy arrested. I'm going to give him a line. He's going to say yes. And I'll send it over. And then they'll all find out. Hello. Another thought. Ever think about a membership kind of thing? And actually, when you say membership, Larissa, that's actually fascinating because I have been thinking about that a little bit. Like the form that I was thinking it would take. In fact, before my idea taints your one, tell me your idea and what you mean by membership thing, and then I'll tell you mine, and we'll see. We will see if we're on the same page. Looks like joyful in sorrow, but he looks happy. That's pretty poetic. I like that. A monthly payment, and each month or a quarter they could choose one print. I do like that, Larissa. So the idea I had, this is similar, was you could do a monthly subscription, just like you're saying, and in that monthly subscription, what would happen was every month you'd get a new work, a new random work as an NFT. So a digital version of it, high quality, and you get one of those every month. And the longer you'd been a subscriber for, you'd be rewarded because you get NFTs that no one else would ever get. And then, if you wanted to, you could get a little LCD display screen. Like, you can purchase them online everywhere. Some of them are cheap, some of them are really expensive, but they're basically a TV screen. And you can link it to your NFT wallet, and then it can rotate one picture at a time. And so, if you wanted to, you could link it into your wallet and just show your prints, or all your NFTs, whatever suits you. And yeah, just that. It would, if you got one off the bat, you'd have basically every NFT since the start. If you got one later in the piece, you'd start building an NFT collection. But that's the idea. That's the idea. Cheers, Jay Smith. All right. Let's add some little bits. Just little bits. Andy Gooey. Do you already sing while painting, or was I late? When you were... Sorry, it's lagging there a little bit. I like when you sing painting your arts. Depends on the day, Andy. Sometimes we sing, sometimes we don't. We mix it up. Sometimes I get too self-conscious, and other times the silence is nice. Lean into the silence. Love the silence. Hey, Catherine. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Let's go down here to the bottom. There we go. Little dots of paint. This is that gold colour, iridescent gold, but spliced into white. So it comes off as more like a tiramisu colour. You know, that sort of creamish colour with just a hint of coffee in it? And that's going to be one of our underlying colours in this dress. As we start pulling back the intensity in some of those colours and allowing these more muted tones to come to the front. Hello, John, and hey, Dusty. I also had another wild idea. Actually, we've had enough wild ideas. Otherwise, everyone's going to start expecting these things off the bat. Let's just stick with our current cluster of ideas. Okay. Big chunks of texture. Just through here, down here. Hello, Connie. You were here fast today, Connie. Welcome. Welcome. And Dusty laughing. There we go. Good. Good to have you here, Connie. So we're just dabbing in this lighter colour. It may seem subtle, but it's going to make a big difference. Lessening the intensity in some of those colours and bringing out more reality in the picture. Not because we needed it, but it will help that wedding dress take a little bit more form. There we go. What's the picture's name? I haven't had a name for it yet. If I did have a name for it, I've typically called this piece wedding dress, because it could seem, in the style that we're painting it and the colours we've added to it, you might miss the fact that it was a wedding dress. And so, but you wouldn't miss the fact of the character wearing it. Thanks, Dusty, I appreciate that. And sorry, I missed a comment there. What are you painting today? So today, we have a man, and he has collapsed laughing against the wall. I'll show you the picture. I have one of them down here. Whoop, rip that one. Yeah. I had a couple of copies of it. Here we go. This is our picture. So this is our man. He's laughing, he's against a wall, and he's wearing a wedding dress, which is many, many sizes too big for him. And the idea behind it is we want to capture that laughing moment, that joy and that vitality, and all these wild, crazy colours. But what we're going to do is add that kaleidoscope to the wedding dress, which may throw you off slightly if you're looking for that intense white colour. So we'll still add in some of that intensity of white, but keep those underlying primaries in there. Get some emotion through the dress. I like that. There we go. Hey, on top of that too, Larissa and Jay Smith, I've got something I want to try. I've got something I would like to try. We'll lose sound for a brief second, but I think this might be our solution to fixing it. So I'm going to try it, and you tell me if the sound improves, stays the same, or gets worse. You ready? Here we go. How did we do? Did we improve? Did we stay the same? Or did we get worse? Shiva La Diva. I guess we'll find out once I'm... Oh, so Connie wouldn't be here. Oh, sorry, Connie. Worse. Worse. Really? Clearer sounding, I think. What if I went like... And now, is it gone altogether? Is it still here, or is it gone altogether? Can you still hear me? It's better. Perfect. No, that's good. All right. All right. Okay, so fantastic. So it was crackly before because it was coming through two different things at once. Now we've just got it coming through one thing and not through a whole bunch of random chords. So this is the way we were trying to get it to work months ago. And now we got there. And the reason we failed miserably was this little cheeky monkey thing here. It was overriding the whole system and wasn't even being used. So, tough times. Anyway, coming back here. All right. There we go. Hello, Gabriel. Hello from Brazil. Welcome here. I do love the Brazil flag. It's very distinctive. It's a very fun flag. Thanks, Star. All right. Still doing those highlights. Adding them on. We're not done yet with them. I might grab just a little bit of... Do I have it in here? That's the question. So many pastels, so little time. There we go. Mars Violet, that's the colour we're after. I can't see what you're doing. Jeepers. Shiva. We've got a tough customer here today, but that's all right. You know what, Shiva? I'm going to do everything in my power, which is not a lot, to make you a happy chappy. And by the end of today, either you've abandoned me and I'm sitting here painting by myself, or you'll be like, you know what? That weird Kiwi guy isn't so bad. I'm a fan. Kira's gone to sleep. It's too late for Kira. She's fast asleep. I did my best. I was too late there. Hello, Tiana. I'm going to need your... There we go. Someone's like, they're gonna need my schedule so they can fall asleep to my voice. We're trying to be invigorating here, guys. We're trying to use the wild colors of paint. Where'd the ballerina painter go? I'll tell you what. Let me just get a little bit of this brown down, and after the brown's gone in, I'll go off and grab it because I would love to show you that one. I've actually hung it up in the foyer, and I'm getting quite attached to it. I'm not gonna lie to you. Here we go, just a bit more. Bear with me, just a bit more through here. It's a skin tone color as much as it is a dress color. So we're going to use it to capture this fantastic individual. There we go. All right, pause, pause, pause. All right, ballerina picture. I'm going to run off and grab it. It's going to take me 30 seconds. I think you should be able to hear me though, the whole way as I wander off. Here we go. Let's grab this up off the wall. We've got this one here. Lift it up delicately. Perfect. And then I'm going to bring it over here. All right. This is the painting from yesterday. Let me have a look-see here. I did not say for... pushing children to... That's totally fair, Tiana. You did not. I assumed. That was foolish of me. Never assume. But we do not have a painting schedule. When one does start, you'll be the first to know. I promise you. Okay, here we go. The painting from yesterday. We did this on the spot. John came up with this idea, and it was his. We picked one fan's idea. He chose from sorrow to joy. Sorrow to joy was the theme. So half is sorrow, half is joy, and we took that and ran with it as an idea and turned it into a symmetrical work with a dancer, a ballerina. So here's from sorrow to joy. So the theme's actually quite subtle, almost like sorrow and joy are in real life, in that what happens is half her body's dark and the other half's light, and we get the feeling that she's almost spinning like a coin or standing with balance in the way that she could tilt to the next side, the light could change, things could alter. Where's the elephant? Elephant's going to come out today too. He's in our list. And the dots here have a fleeting, almost like little petal nature to them, as if she's throwing them up, but lean towards this side, as in it's moving from these dark, brooding tones up into joy. But it isn't just dark and brooding, there's some lighter dots here too. A little bit of happiness in the dark, a little bit of darkness in the light, yin yang, and then just a lot of expression in her dress and things like that, and with her form. So I love this piece. You like ballerinas, all right. Shiver's coming around. Shiver's coming around. This is good. Anyway, this was a single session work. I'm in love with it because it's my kind of colour palette. I love those deep dark blacks. I love a background of blue, and I love some popping orange. So this one speaks to me a bit, but yeah, big fan of this one. What will be next? Well, today we didn't go for a mystery commission because I want to work on the elephant and on our wedding dress character. Peace. Absolutely lovely to have you on board, Peace. You absolute champion. I really appreciate that. And yeah, so lost my trail of thought. I'm in love with Peace. Ha! Get it? No, so here we go. That's all I have to say about that. Forrest Gump. I love this painting. It's fantastic. Anyway, you'll see some similarities in the actual style between the two of them. Perhaps they were done by the same artist. Let's get this one out of the way. Also, you wild bunch, we have this work completed. It's a bit weighty. This one here, we've left it out for a while to examine it, to make sure we're happy with it. And now we've decided, yes, it's where we want it. So, here is my version of New York. There we go. So you'll see how the light catches it in some funky ways. This is Midtown. This is where Broadway is, I think. And it's not stereotypical. It's not... with the lines of it, it's not trying to be an accurate city as such. It's more like a landscape in that it's blotchy with its colours. And we get that intensely down here in the bottom in the pavement because it reflects all the other colours as if it's a wet night, but it's not raining. It seems bright, but it's the middle of the night. Fun picture. Shiva, you're a hard one to win over. Capsicum. Come on, 2 people on the Tokyo buzz. Right, let's put this one down here. Right, that's show and tell. We've also got one more work coming out here. This is our elephant. Voila. And we're going to do some more coats on him shortly. See how it's a flatter surface? The elephant's had a coat of liquid glass on the top. The liquid glass has flattened it off just a little bit. Cheers, Peace, and cheers, Jay Smith, you champions. And so what we'll do with this one now is we'll add just a bit more colour, a bit more pop, and call it a day. So, elephant and laughing man. That's our show and tell. Let's get started doing some layers. Shiva, just chill. Be happy. Be happy. If you don't like something, it's okay. It's all good. I still like you. I like it. The lights of the cars are reflecting the lights of Times Square like a river flowing. Champion. I like that. It wanted to be, I say splotchy, but I didn't want to represent New York with the cut lines. I wanted to represent it in the, in more the, dare I say it, imagine in a quite raw way through a set of blurry glasses. And then the result wouldn't have these straight lines, but it would have these colours and moments and expressions and little bits. Thanks, Larissa. I appreciate you. We've got quite an eclectic. That's going to be the word of the day. Eclectic bunch of paintings around here at the moment. Eclectic means usually used for inanimate objects, but eclectic bunch of things from a whole range of places. Almost like a giant collection of juxtapositions. Nothing's doing the same thing twice. So, what war am I from? Jeepers creepers. Probably from the war of expression. Trying to get people to share authentically with each other. Gallery. I'm not sure what that means, but I'm excited. One can only guess. Ah, Jay Smith's in there with the correct answer. Being that my one wasn't awfully helpful. Electric, broad, and diverse range of sources. Yes. Yes. Was that trying to be eclectic? Broad and diverse range of sources. Perfect. Perfect. That's the word of the day. Eclectic. It fits into many, many situations, especially now that for most things we do have a broad and diverse range of sources. And you can take it literally as well. You could be in a restaurant, and in the restaurant they offer you 3 different options to be drizzled on top of your pasta. That would be an eclectic range of sauces. Huh. No, I haven't, William. I typically love to capture everything other than myself. Honestly, guys, and it's nothing against the idea of doing a portrait, but there's nothing more boring to me than painting my own face. And I'm convinced the likes of Van Gogh, if he had Google, would have painted less of his face and more of the rest of the world. Surely. I'd like to think so. He probably just had his face and he's like, finally, something that sits still. Sitting there trying to paint sunsets and flowers and all sorts. And then all of a sudden, he thinks, right, that's enough. I'm going back to my studio with that mirror. Because at least when I look at myself, I sit still. If you show Van Gogh a printer, show him a printer, and show him a Google search engine, any image you want Van Gogh for as long as you want, Just type it into here. You'd be like, fantastic. I'd be like, but there is something you should know about. It's called copyright. Can't just take everything. God, imagine going down in history as a person that got Van Gogh into a copyright lawsuit. No, thank you. We're going to get some painting done. We are getting painting done. Are we taking our time? Maybe a little bit. But I want to get, part of the beauty in a dress is the level of detail that it has. And if we can actually incorporate that level of detail into it, it'll make the wedding dress far more compelling as an item. Not that wedding dresses have to be detailed to be beautiful, but this one does have a lot of intricacies, little moments, pockets, happenings. Thanks, guys. Joke, heard about the new restaurant called Karma. There's no menu, you get what you deserve. Jeepers, that is a lot of philosophical weight to put on the wait staff. I hope you're paying them very well, because if someone walks in and they have to do a quick assessment, then all of a sudden decide what that person's going to get, or are they like, you know what, this decision's far too great for me. It's out of my hands. Everyone's getting spaghetti. Maybe that's the poetic thing. Everyone deserves to be equal. When you go into the Karma restaurant, everyone gets spaghetti. But then, yeah, everyone gets spaghetti. And thank you, NK2NA and others. When I saw there was a live goal for Dream Team, I was like, that's just everything we do here. We're doing a Dream Team goal. Oh dear, here we go. Right. Try and soften these blacks a little bit. I want to get less of that intensity through this side here. I'll get it. It'll just take some time as I nurse these brighter colours into it. You don't want to judge the painting out of nowhere. Acknowledge what you want to change or how you feel about it, and then let it slowly recorrect. Don't overcorrect. Jeepers. I bet it is. I bet it is. It'd be kind of cool if there was a... oh no, it wouldn't be. Change my mind. There we go. Little bits of colour. Teeny tiny bits. Around here. And around here. Here we are. Perfect. Have you ever done a painting of a family member or a friend? I have. I've painted every family member. I haven't done a lot of my friends. I should actually. I should. You know what? Thanks for the heads up. I'm going to paint more of my friends. That's on me. I'm going to fix that. And your opinion. Why do you think Van Gogh is so popular? Why does every single painter mention him? Why? Okay, Van Gogh is popular because Van Gogh is the epitome of tortured artist. But that doesn't mean we should be glorifying tortured art. What's important about Van Gogh is that he pursued his craft as an artist completely separate of fame, glory, and the rest of it. All he wanted was make beauty on a canvas and connect through that beauty that he could transpose onto a surface. In spite of everything else, it's a coincidence that after his death, we now glorify his paintings. But he stands to be everything we want an artist to be, in that he didn't make art for money. It is worth hundreds of millions now, but he didn't make art for money. He made money to make his art. And Monet is another example of that, but it's really, really important. And that's why artists glorify him, that we make that distinction. Because otherwise, we get far too hung up on thinking, I wonder how I can control this experience, control this creation, control everything to create something that other people will love. That should be a red flag for you. People do that all the time with their personalities. How do I make myself into someone that everyone else will like? Forget who I want to be, forget who I am. How can I reconstruct my personality in order to make everyone happy? Now, artists do this with their craft, but by actually dropping that, allowing your insecurities to be seen, allowing yourself to be exposed, can you make art that's actually the true you, that's truly how you want to create? And from that, people are like, oh, I might not like it, or I might like it, but it gives me permission to be me. Van Gogh did that. And in his work, you can both see the beauty that he was trying to create, but also the torture that his life experienced. And so it's this great juxtaposition in these works. There's more we can talk about with him, but that's it in a major nutshell, the effect he has on artists. And of course, he's not just loved by artists, he's loved by the entire world. And so it has a different effect on the public. But let's not go down the Van Gogh rabbit hole. We might not come back out. Do you also make to order if people ask? Mr. Donker, yes, we do. Oh, Jay Smith, why do I even try? I'm always so late. Jay Smith, you're an absolute champion. Yes, you can. Did you read The Lust for Life by Irving Stone? No, I have not. But everything Van Gogh does in his art is similar to what every artist wants in terms of the book that it reminds me of the most is, I think it's The 8 Last Wishes of the Dying, which is a book written about people who are about to pass away, who've talked 8 Regrets of the Dying, who've talked about what they wanted to do with their lives. And a lot of artists would wish they had the confidence of Van Gogh to just do what you believed was beautiful. And at the end of his life, he died poor and he died alone, but he died knowing that he did what he thought was beautiful. And there's something heroic in that. And we love a hero. We love a hero. Sparkle King, you absolute champion. Oh, Sparkle King got muted. Goodbye, Sparkle King. He shared the live though. That's important. Let's have a look-see here. Lust for Life, the second after his biography. That's exciting. That is exciting. Right. Just some more edits on that head there. I do download a few books onto Audible. I think it's really important to keep books coming through. There's something meditative about listening to a book. Sometimes when you go to if you go for a run, or if you go to the gym, whatever your preferred place of a little bit of healthy exercise is, sometimes you don't feel like, I'm going to sound like a boomer here, but doomfa music. Sometimes what you feel like is just a little bit of an audiobook. Something with some nice touches in it that you can listen to and appreciate and have some new thoughts, new compelling thoughts on different things. Change your perspective on topics in a comfortable environment. My favorite color, I love them all. I love all the colors. They all have different places. Orange gives amazing pop, it's very friendly. Blue's so deep with so many hues. Red's savage or warm. Yellow's happiness, or I love all the colors. They're all special. Kiora said, have you painted a person present in front of you? Yes, I have, Tiki. But I like photos. Photos are fun. Ooh. Are we... Did you... Yeah, I did. Any thoughts on the late artist? No thoughts whatsoever. But I'm worried now because it says it's charging, but our battery life looks very low. I'll tell you what, I won't touch it. It's telling me 0% but charging. If we die out of nowhere, I'll reconfigure the charger, or it's just glitching and I don't touch it. Who knows? And hello, Victoria. How you doing? Victoria, you always keep me on the toes the way you keep changing your Facebook profile picture. So, not your Facebook profile picture, your TikTok profile picture. I get used to one, then you swap it. I remember the pink and turquoise one. Easy to see, easy to glance up and spot. Take some risks, and you might enjoy what you think you're afraid of. That's a cool statement. That's a cool statement. You might figure out through risk that the thing you were afraid of is actually one of your strengths. Hey, Birdie, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I wonder if actually, I've got an idea. I've got a fun idea. I'm going to grab this piece of artwork, our ballerina, because we have the space over here. And I'm going to put her over here. There we go. Now we can see her. She's tucked down there. But she's semi in the shot. That's fun. Here we go. Larissa's been around. I think she was here, she was around, well, after you went to sleep one time. Me and Larissa got some good Seb and Larissa time. I think, and Jay Smith was here too. Jay Smith, Seb and Larissa, hanging out in the last 2 or 3 hours of the stream. Chrissy, Miss Jasmine, the ballerina, there'll be prints available, but John, who came up with the idea for the project, the fan, gets to choose first. So, John's going to get 10 days. 10 days to decide. And after that, the ballerina will be available for everyone. But I've got to get the frame on it. And from the frame and things like that, then I'll know how much it costs to let John know, and we'll go from there. The chisel strokes. Yeah, we start off with wild, big strokes, and then to get those last little dabs of colour, we've added in some gloss gel, a little bit heavier, and now we're doing those little chisel strokes, yeah. It's almost like adding clay with little lugs, one by another. You've heard New Zealand is beautiful. New Zealand is beautiful. I love New Zealand. I love our coffee, which is hypocritical of me to say right now because I'm drinking instant coffee. But our cafes, I swear, our cafes make good coffee. I just can't afford a $4.50 coffee every day. It's not my life. So, Makona coffee 6 days a week. One day, I'll go out and get some nice stuff. How many plates do I go truff? I go through about 9 plates a day, but don't think that I'm throwing them away. I'm soaking them, and after soaking them, I wipe them clean, and they come with me for another round, and I like that. Otherwise, I'd run all the local op shops out of their plates. And they'll be like, here he comes again. Don't sell to him. He'll just take them all and put paint on them. Instant is okay. All right, party time. And this is acrylic paints. So it's acrylic paints, but we're adding things into the paints to make them seem a little bit more like oils. We will use oils occasionally. If you want to get really frisky with your paint, oils and acrylics on the same canvas at the same time. Someone out there who got trained who's like, you can't do that. You actually can. There are a few rules to follow while you're doing it, but you can. With the worst outcome being that the paint cracks a little bit if you make a mistake. Just don't make a mistake. Why is it divided by two sides? Well, there's an element to it which is coincidental. There's a lot of light around here and a lot of darkness down here. It seems like it's very, very vivid right now, but as we continue to add these colors in, bit by bit, those sides will start to merge. Because remember, we started in the black zone, and we started with black. This area was intense and this area was untouched. And then as we went to white, the same thing occurred to create that contrast. But as we start getting our medium grays, and as we start getting our more muted colors, we'll see that blending occur. There should almost be a perfect gradient from left to right once we're finished of the more lighter colors moving into a medium gray, whereas at the moment it's quite a intense swap over, almost in line with the head. But this will pass. It can't hang around all the time. We'll beat it. We'll promise we'll beat it. I swear we'll beat it. Just going to bring this little speaker up a little bit more. There we go. Make sure that sound. I'm learning wet on wet oil paints. I've painted 3 pieces and have never picked up a paintbrush ever. That is phenomenal. First off, good for you. Get into it. And if you're having fun, it's the best. It's funny because when you say having fun, it can come off as condescending. You're like, did you have fun? And you're like, I'm trying to paint seriously. I'm trying to be serious. Funnily enough, and Picasso actually said this, that we try and learn how to paint like children. We've got to get back to that, get that inspiration, get that creativity of a child. In the same way, we have to learn how to have fun. Because we're not having fun, we're not making art. We're doing a craft, which is totally okay. But man, it can be stressful figuring it out. The stress is real. Stress is real. Here we go. Moving in here. What's that song? Moving on. Here we go. We'll grab a little bit more in this hairstyle. There we are. I love that. The most important part about it is, well, without play, and there's actually one of the guys from Monty Python spelled it out in a very, very beautiful way. That usually when he was making a skit, people who tried to leap on the answer straight away, figure out what was funny and control it, he'd have to get those people to leave the room. What he said was, you needed people who could find the funny part or find the idea behind the skit, and then just sit with it. Not trying to control it or bend it, but just play with it and see where else it could go. And with that play, with that, not so much not taking it seriously, but serious play, you could actually find out what was funnier, what was better, what was more creative, and come up with the skits that made Monty Python world renowned. So in that same way, art's very similar to stage performance in that we need to not control what we're trying to make, but to play with it. The live is lagging. It's lagging better. All right. Unless you mean it's lagging better, in which case it's a disaster. I came across a really good show. Really good show on Amazon Prime. I got a free Amazon Prime membership with my broadband, and the great show is called Good Omens. I love it. It's so comical. Audio was fine, visual was lagging. Well, that's fun. At least it's not. At least the audio is here. I'll tell you what's happening. I'm putting colour onto a painting. You're not missing much, or are you? I'll have to check it out. If you do have an Amazon Prime subscription, it's a fun one to check out. If you do not, I don't think it's worth paying the subscription for. I don't want you going out of your way to get a subscription to only be like, Seb's taste in shows is weird. But it is there. It is there. If you find something you don't... Oh, I saw the lag then for a moment. I glitched across as I moved. If you find something you don't like, then you make it better next time. This is true. This is true. Typically, too, judging something you're making, let the mistakes happen in the work you're making. Let them be. And then you can acknowledge them at the end. And then, like you're saying, like Connie's saying, fix them next time. But if you judge them at the time, you'll ruin the entire work. If you judge every little mistake you make while you're making it, what's going to happen? You're going to stop yourself from having any successes because you'll be so caught up on that mistake you're worried about making. Don't do that to yourself. What are you painting? Well, it will slowly come clearer, but I'm painting a man wearing a giant wedding dress, laughing, as he leans against a wall. Pretty fun premise if you ask me. Does art control you, or do you control it? Or how do you manage it? Manage, control. Like art's some sort of a corporation. I don't think you manage art. I think you can manage a craft, but not art. I don't think you control art. And I don't think art controls you, even if sometimes it feels like it. I think what's probably more to the truth is that you choose how you want to do art. Art isn't something art isn't just chaos. Art isn't just expression. Art's what you choose it to be. Art's what you find. Art is the method that you find, whether it's visual or whatever, that you can best connect with other consciousness, other human beings, other personalities in the world. What can you make to form a conduit between you and another person? To feel the same things, to share in a moment or a memory together. Every artist will find a different answer for that. Some artists find immense control in creating the perfect reality with brushes with only 3 bristles as they perfect every last little bit of a painting. Other artists will have minimalist styles with giant canvases and single red dots. And other artists like me will give into the chaos and make something quite wild, quite loose, quite rudimentary and primal. Every answer is different. So to put a blanket answer out there like, does art manage the artist or does the artist manage art? Is to probably oversimplify the question of individuality. Sorry to throw away some That was quite verbose of me, actually. I'm sorry. Verbose is not the word of the day, but it could be. Verbose means charging off into big words. Your name is Naffy. Welcome, Naffy. Hope you're well. You're learning. That's fantastic. Uh-oh, lagging again. Why are we lagging? What did I do? What have I done? Verbose. What a word, eh? Big fan of the word verbose. But it's not the word of the day. What was the word of the day? We had a word of the day. I forget it. Hi, Boo, from Atlanta. Hello, Vic. From Atlanta. Vic from Atlanta has come for some banter. Here we go. Your voice isn't, but your movement is lagging. How do you know I'm not just pausing for dramatic effect? Am I lagging now? You'll never know. You'll never know. Do you have any tips for making a career money-wise out of art? I don't know. Eclectic. Thank you, love. Yes, indeed. I don't know where to start. Right. Where to start? How to make a career out of art? What to do? So, where's the first place you should go if you want to make a career out of art? Well, a great place to start is by asking other artists. You're doing that. But let me ask the question, where should you go? As soon as you said that start, no, it's not me. It's not me, I swear. I see it's frozen though. I can see that. It's frozen right now. I look like a silly Billy. I can see that. Now I'm looking at the plate. Now I'm looking out with the mouth open. Sibgao has crashed. Am I back? Did I fix it? Or are we still crashed? Yeah, hashtag. I think we should have fixed it. I think we should have fixed it. We're back. Yes. And with a bit of luck, the new charger will be better and smoother and all the movements will flow. And we won't get ourselves stuck on Seb pulling a silly face again. But we will see. Cheers, Gabriel. Back. All right. Yay. Yep. Yay indeed. Here we go. Here we are. Back to live life. I like lives. I think there's a lot of the time I feel like when I'm doom scrolling that I'm not forming connections, that I am just scrolling. I feel like with live, it feels different as far as social media is concerned, that it's actually more about connection. And I think live, and the reason why all platforms basically offer it is because it is the opposite of disconnection. It reconnects people on the platforms and strengthens bonds with other humans, whether they be strangers, whether they not be, in a safe space. So I can get on board with that. I like that. There we are. Hello, Maxine. Welcome. What is art for you? Self-expression? Well, love, I think we leapt on that one, didn't we, love? Just saying that art for me is very much so a ability to connect with other people. It's a way for me I mean, the actual process of making art, this is deeply personal. I do this, I have done this, and I do this just to do it, destroying the result every time. It wouldn't bother me one little bit, because I just love to do it. But the actual creation, the result, the thing that comes out of a beautiful process, what I love about that is sharing that in the hope that someone might feel a little bit of what I felt and connect with me in the way that, actually, that is a crazy, crazy picture, but it says something about the nature of the reality that we both live in that I can get on board with. I can connect with you about that. I think that's wholesome. Just in time. Hey, KT, how you doing? There we go. From Puerto Rico. Could you continue about making art a career? Haha, you started right before it started lagging. Sorry, yes. So first off, asking artists is a great way to start. Absolutely. But some artists might be confused into how they actually did it, or not know the actual reason behind how they did it, what made them understand their craft. But for you personally, the best place to start, just like anyone who's wanting to build knowledge in a field, not a literal field, but the field of, you know what I mean. Anyone who's looking to build knowledge in a field comes to understand it through, I mean, you could go on an art course, but there's an easier way. The easiest way to understand how to take your art to the next level is by reading about art. So few artists pick up a book. There's a great book written by a lady called Maria Brophy, who used to be a lawyer, but dropped her lawyer's career to help Drew Brophy, her husband, sell his art. She gave up on a life that was so certain, even though they had a family, and she opted for uncertainty, change, for the possibility that they might be able to make something of Drew's passion, and together they could go the distance with it. The book, and I've told you about this book in the past. Thanks, Pipey. I appreciate that. The book that I've told you about in the past is called Art, Money, Success by Maria Brophy. And the reason why that book's important to read is because Maria doesn't say to you, here's the perfect blueprint. If someone says they've got the perfect blueprint for you, with financial things, with personal success, with personal troubles, or with art, this is a red flag. As far as art's concerned, as I understand it, there has no blueprint, and that's exactly what Maria says. It's different for every artist. Your art's different. Who will love it is different. For you to find your people and to actually create art that they'll love and to put a roof over your head and feed yourself will be a different answer for you, as it will be for a lady who loves to paint flowers, as it will be for a tramper who loves to go to the top of mountains and paint them from long distances with these landscapes, as for a person who's so passionate about frogs that they only paint frogs. The way they sell their art will not be the same. It will not be the same gallery. It will not be the same people. It will not be the same place. And sometimes, in Van Gogh's case and Monet's case, it will not be the right time. So the best advice I can give you is do not get hung up on the financials. If you have to, get another job. Work during the daytime, paint in the nighttime. And you'd be like, but I want to be an artist. And artists paint. So I want to get paid for painting. The two greatest painters of all time, Van Gogh and Monet. They didn't get paid for painting. Van Gogh sold art on the side to stay afloat. Monet didn't sell a whole lot of paintings. But they're the greatest of all time. They are the GOATs. And so you wonder, you wouldn't say they're not painters, although they hardly sold paintings. So you'd look at Van Gogh and Monet and realize art has very little to do with the money. Try and understand the money, absolutely. But realize that it's all about making your art. That in their cases, they were happy to be broke, poor, in order to make their art. Don't compromise on making your art. Make your art no matter what. But do whatever it takes to make it. There's plenty of advice after that. But as long as you won't compromise on that, you say to yourself, you look at yourself in the mirror in the morning and you say, I am going to make my art. I don't care if I'm the only one who likes it. I don't care. I do care. Sorry, I do care. But it doesn't matter if I'm the only one who likes it. I must make it. And that, we don't know for certain. We'll never know. But I believe that conversation happened in the mirror many a times for Monet and for Van Gogh. Or they muttered it under their breath while they were painting. Because they certainly didn't paint to make anyone else happy. They painted because they believed what they made was beautiful. And now the world knows that, but they were never here to see that. So you need to get on that same boat. And you're like, well, I don't want to do it like that. I want to be a successful artist now, make millions of dollars and for everyone to love my pictures. So you don't want to do it like Picasso, you don't want to do it like Monet and Van Gogh. Then is it about the art or is it about the fame? Because at the end of the day, if you want fame, art's probably the worst way to do it. If you want to be famous, singing's great. I don't know, probably start selling cars and then get rich. And then just be rich and famous. Rich people tend to be famous as well. Do that. Don't do art. But if you want to make art, that's a different proposition. That means you want to take a pursuit in making something that you believe other people could connect with, that could make the world a better place, that could be an authentic human expression, that could be something that actually someone could see and think, I see a little bit of that person's character through that. Or my own character is strengthened by having looked at that artist's art. If you want to go on that pilgrimage, then look, it's a long road, but you'll find nothing more fulfilling. Seems fame comes after death. Well, that can happen. That can happen. For some artists, it comes before death. But at the end of the day, everyone talks about that, like, why would you want to be an artist if you get famous after you die? The most important point about that at all is that doesn't matter. When you agreed to make your art no matter what, the fame and the money wasn't in the equation. It was about the art. It's like when you commit to actually marrying someone, for example. You didn't commit to marrying them so long as you have enough financial stability and they're a particular kind of person and they're exactly what you signed up for. You agreed to marry them and then come what may. Your art's very similar. It's like saying, I'll marry you, but only if we're rich in 5 years. It's like, really? That's going to be the premise? That's going to work out? I'll do art, but only if I can only do art and get paid for it and not have to worry about anything else. Like, come on, come on. But you know what's really beautiful in love? When a woman or a man, when someone says, they say, you know what, I love this person. Come what may, I'm staying here. I'm not doing anything else. This is what I do. And if they get rich, if they get famous, if they get anything, they stay. And you need to have that same philosophy, that same beautiful outlook with your art. I don't care where it goes. I don't care how it happens. I'm a painter, or I'm an artiste. And I will do this, come what may. You need to be like that. I'm doing good. I missed the live and decided to chicken on it. Hey, Kian. Good to have you chicken in. I'm slowly catching up, guys, too. Soon enough, we'll be uploading these lives within 48 hours. I had a bit of a backlog to upload first. I didn't want to inundate everyone with a million different live streams. I'm trying to stick to one every 12, 24-ish hours. How do you know when a painting's finished? How do you know when a painting's finished? Who's heard me answer this one? Did my answer sink in with anyone? Is he talking? I'm sorry. I mean, I was talking to everyone, but you as well. Who knows when a painting's finished? You know when you know. I never feel like a painting's finished. So with painting, I believe you know when it's finished. When your love for what you've made is stronger than your desire to see what it can become. Or what JB said. Both are great answers. But I don't buy into the you just stop and that no painting's really finished. I don't buy into this, guys. It's not what I believe. I believe we do stop and we do look at a painting and we say it's done. And we say it's done because we decide that there is nothing more we can add to this without taking away from what it already is. And we love what it already is. So we've made a decision to stay. And I think we do that in our lives in a lot of different small ways. Sounds like a good relationship. All right, peace. Now you're starting to see it. And yes, good relationship starts. A good relationship has layers. Sometimes a good relationship goes through bad patches, and that's okay. But you know what you don't do on a good painting is give up on it just because of a few bad strokes. You know what you don't do as well? Get every stroke that you apply after a badly applied stroke and let it morph around it and control the entire work. At a certain point, you learn how to ignore parts of it that you don't like and enjoy the parts you do. Majority of artists are on Smith, and that's what they create. Dose of Eternity, that's still legit. I didn't understand a word of that, but I'm excited. It sounds cool. I like the word eternity. Eternity. That's the third word of the day. We've got 3 words of the day. That's exciting. Here we go. That red into the face here. It's quite risky putting red on a human, but it is the colour we're after. You're reading a good book. Well, the book I recommended there, Art, Money, success. Now, please don't take the name of the book and be like, that's everything against what you're talking about. Because yes, the heading of the book is deceptive. But the book itself is a beautiful thing. And if you want to read a lawyer's perspective, going from a world of law and consistent salaries into the world of art, which is changing, turbulent, and challenging, and fairly more of an enigma, hard to control, and how she interpreted it, and how she survived and raised 3 kids and had an artist for a husband. That's in the book. The 5 love languages. The 5 love languages. They are buying dinner, buying flowers, going for walks. No, they're not that. I'm being silly. Artists are on something, connects them with something beyond this world. Well, that's one way of looking at it. I personally like to keep it within this world. But maybe I'm just not aware of it. Gift giving. Thanks, Birdie. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. That's why we're here. Slap some paint around and give some raw, unfiltered opinions. And usually what I've found with a good opinion is if the answer's cheesy, it's probably the right answer. That's what I reckon. Here we go. Words of affirmation. I reckon all 5 of them are a good thing. I reckon for a good relationship to work, you can't just have one love language. I think you've got to adhere to all the different love languages. Buy her some flowers. Give her words of affirmation. Tell her how you feel. What are the other ones? Physical touch. All the things. These are the 5. Let me just stand back for a moment and have a little bit of a look-see. Yeah, okay, let's build that blue out some more in the bottom right-hand corner and then coming up through it. Bada bing. Thanks, Jay Smith. Appreciate that. Hydration is important. Now, so what is it? It's gift giving. It's gift giving. Acts of service. Touch. Gift giving, acts of service. Giving acts of service, touch. Words of affirmation, and there's one more. Gift giving. You can see the wedding dress. This is fantastic. It'll start to come out. Bit by bit. Here we go. Gift giving, acts of service, physical touch, words of affirmation, and that's the last one, quality time. So I think the one red flag about the love languages is we are like, oh, this is their love language. That's all I need to do. We don't use it as that's the most important one. We use it as that's the requirement I need to meet in order to be sorted. And I think everyone in the right situation appreciates a few flowers. Everyone enjoys it when people they care about spend time with them. I don't think there is compromise or the ability for the level of compromise that some of those tests would have you think in things like quality time. Like, when did quality time become a fifth of the color wheel? Of the love language wheel. A fifth. Be like, I don't spend any quality time with my partner. But don't worry, that's only 20% of the equation. As long as you give her gifts and tell her that you like her, you'll be fine. That's twice as important as quality time. It's like, come on. The outrageousness of that. All right, Birdie, we'll catch you later. Birdie, if you ever do want to catch replays, they're on YouTube via the link in the bio. But otherwise, just catch me live. That works too. Whatever works best for you. There we go. There we go. It's how people receive love the most. This is true. But do you think we get hung up on thinking that that's the be-all, end-all best way for that person a little bit? Or do you think we're taking that with a grain of salt and continuing to prioritize all five? I think after someone takes that quiz, we're like, okay, both were like, that's their love language, that's what matters. And we start to think, all right, that's my love language. I don't need or care about the other ones. We're human. We're a little bit more similar than we think. Thanks, Mitch. I appreciate that. Let's have a look-see here. Just little touches of this colour. There we go. Yes, we are. It's related to how you were treated as a child and how you communicate with your partner now. Fair enough. Fair enough. I think the most important thing that love languages may forget, the communication through gifts is sort of tough, kind of like code. It's just important to do your best, to sit down and have a conversation with the person you care about. It can be tough, but the more you do it, the more you're going to get used to it. And the more you get used to it, the better you'll get at it. When I say better, express your feelings in a way that they can clearly understand. To deepen your connection with the other person. In the same way that doing art makes you better at art, and doing a relationship makes you better at the relationship. A lot of the time, we don't want to do the relationship because we're so caught up on what we should be getting out of it, instead of getting caught up on thinking, right, I'm going to do this relationship in all the ways I know I should be doing it. And if I do that, at the very least, I'm going to get a better understanding of how I should behave in a relationship, regardless of the person. Of course, if they are the person, that won't matter. And they'll respond and reciprocate, and it won't be 50-50. It'll be each person it'll be 60-40 with each person vying to be the 60. I like that saying. If you won't get along with your friend, then find out she's received. All right, there we go, peace. There we go. Let's have a look-see from the back here. That turquoise is absolutely popping. That's fantastic, and it's brought a lot of life into the other side, which is exactly what we were after. The question now is, what do we do next? Turquoise in abundance. Here we are. For a murky green. Mix that vermilion with the turquoise. Make a pasty colour. We'll throw this around here a little bit. What is mine? Well, what do I believe? What's my way of showing affection? I believe the best relationships for communication wise, because that's what love languages are trying to get, aren't they? I believe the best relationships are based off a 60-40 split. Where one person gives 60% and the other person gives 40%. That's what I believe works. And the best relationships, the ones that last, the ones that keep going, the ones that are fulfilling, the ones that matter, are the ones with both people in it. And this works for friendships too. Where both people in it are trying to do everything they can to be the person who's doing the 60%. Not telling the other one that they're the 60. The other person should be trying harder. But trying to get into the 60 position and stay in the 60 position. And when both people do that, you've got something quite special. There we go. A few little touches there. Hello, Wendy. I didn't hear anything, just saw very interesting things. All right. Well, if you like the painting, you like the painting. Good to have you here. Right. This one can go down here. Here we go. Chrissy, Miss Jasmine, she likes it. Fantastic. I am glad. Right. We're going to move into some more pastel-y tones. I'm going to get some pastel aquamarine in there. Slow that word there. Pastel aquamarine. A little bit of light velvet. Katie, you are welcome. I will catch you on the flip side. An absolute pleasure to have you here. Lovely to have you joining us on, what time is it here? Going on 5 o'clock. Let's get this out of here. There we go. Going on 5 o'clock. There we go. Do you not sleep? Rodrigo. This is 5 p.m. here in New Zealand. And we are on, oh, that's exciting. We're on 199 team members. Who is going to be the 200th team member? It's wild. That is a claim that you'll have for the rest of your life. I was the 200th member on TikTok. The Seb Gowers Live. Pretty exciting if you ask me. Also, Kiwis living in the future right now. We are living in the future right now. We be like that. Dabbling around pastel tones. Here we go. I always thought it'd be fun. I've been building up to the idea of doing a stream down by the beach at sunrise So then, you guys can be part of the sunrise in the future, live. I think that is kind of fun. Rodrigo, 6 a.m. on a Thursday. Well, it is an honor to have you here, Rodrigo. You grabbed your morning coffee. You jumped on this live. And you started hanging out with us. Rockman, hello. There we go. Slick down here. How does an artist capture a sunrise when the light changes so quickly? Well, I feel like we've been a little bit spoiled as artists, as people, in the last 50 years, that we've had the ability to paint from photos, print things off, not have to worry about changing weather conditions and the chaos of the outdoors to draw, or live models to draw inspiration from. And so we got a little bit soft. But Van Gogh used to paint during the 4 hours he could get where the light was right for his sunflowers. A lot of artists used to go outside and paint with the very, very thin windows of time that they would have while the lighting was correct. Now that is still the case, but it doesn't mean it's impossible. It means you get out there, you do it fast, and you get used to those changing wild conditions. And realize that whatever you're dealing with, wind, sun, cold, those artists of 1850, they didn't even have a weather report. At least you can get warning that rain's on the way. They'll be out there with a canvas thinking, oh, I'll give it a go today. And all of a sudden it starts coming down. And they'll be like, I made a mistake here. You've even got the power to bring in a ring light with you. You could get a light, take it down to the beach, and it could be powerfully looking at your canvas to highlight it in white light. So that way, you wouldn't even have to worry. Midnight here in Nashville. That's fantastic. I do paint outdoors. But at the moment, the weather is so atrocious and the wind is so strong that indoors is the bread and butter. We'll get back outside though. It'll be a matter of time. Matter of time. I love painting outside. That's the favourite. But we're inside the lab at the moment. Out of necessity. Out of necessity to get out of those crazy, crazy conditions. We need a live with Violet and Barnaby again. Has been a while. Has been a while. They'll be missing it too. They'll be like, yo, you're denying us. Our fan base. They loved us. You used us to get famous and then you left us behind. That's what Barnaby would be saying if he could talk. His frustration would be palatable. There we are. It's summer here in New Zealand. Yes, it is. It is indeed. There we go. How are we looking? So this is your serious mode in painting. Yeah, a little bit. A little bit. Serious mode. I like that. What's he doing? He's in serious mode. You've got to take him seriously. Wendy Brown. That's exciting. That wasn't me, that was the burnt sienna, I swear. Here we go. California 2. California 2. Here we go. A little bit of vermilion. Here we go. All right. This is the color. There we go. Just moving down that body. Get a little bit of this one. A little bit of red. A little bit of red. Okay. There we are. A little bit of red. Oh, fix it up just a little bit. Perfect. Not gonna lie, I'm getting kind of sleepy. I haven't made it into the end of a live for a bit. You're all good, Victoria. It's because we've been landing them on the same time over and over again. It's been kind of rough on a lot of folks. So, honestly, if anyone's to blame, it's me. We'll fix. Wendy Brown. Seb, what are you painting? Please. Well, Wendy, tell me first, what do you see? What do you see in this crazy, layered up, wild nature of paint? And I'll tell you if you're right, or if you really, really hurt my feelings, and I'm going to stop painting and take 5 minutes to just be upset. Hello, Austin. Elvis blames me for anything. All right, fair enough. Elvis is late to work. He's like, you know what? That Sebastian guy, boss. It's not me. You got the wrong guy. He's trouble. I tell you that. I tell you this. No, so it's a man. The man's wearing a dress and laughing. And he's against a wall. And the dress he's wearing is a wedding dress. And it is many, many sizes too large. And that's part of the beauty. It's part of the beauty. go. There we are. That's going to slice up there a little bit more before it does. That's going to come in there. Why? Of course it is. I don't think I've actually seen the reference pic for this piece. Of course it is. Is that, oh, this one here. I'm not very good at sarcasm, especially in text, but there's our picture there. So we have a man laughing, giant wedding dress, leaning up against a wall. And hello LJ, the subject we're doing here, and the reason we're doing it is because this is a commission. And it's a very, very fun idea. An idea I was very much on board with, because the more I thought about it, the more I thought this is an incredibly unique subject matter. This is something that will be a real pleasure to actually capture and paint. It is very unique. And I like that. Love it, thank you. Cheers, Wendy. Appreciate that. I think it's fun getting another person's inspiration, combining it with an artist's intention and feeling. Get the expression of that person or the goal that they had in the creation and capturing it in wild, cascading paint. Because we do paint wild here. Is the subject watching? The client? Is he here? Is he here? That's a great question. He'll either be here or he'll be catching the replays. He may be here and staying silent. Thanks, Gene. There we go. A little bit of madness there. When do you realise you like to paint with the style, James? Steve is always here too. Why is he wearing a dress? Because it's his auntie's dress. He thought it would be humorous to try it on. And he's laughing in that very moment in which the photo was caught. Quite cool, actually. And so in some ways, I think it's kind of fun to ponder on the why. Or just lose yourself in the apparent context. Imagining what it could be. Thanks, Alan. I appreciate that. Did I realise this was my style? I've got several styles. And I say several styles. I go through the process as I'm making a painting. We choose the route and style of painting that best fits how the painting's coming together. And we never quite know what direction that might be. Sometimes it's smooth and transparent like Mahalo. Sometimes it's blurred and layered and vibrant like the New York Midtown. And sometimes it's intense and compelling like this one. I missed that there. Whatever you paint is an A. Thanks, Rockman. I appreciate that. Well, I think I missed a few comments, Rockman, but I do my best. I do my best. And now, I want the friskiest colour of them all. The most dangerous of all the colours. The most threatening of all the colours. Carbon Black Series 1. This stuff here has the ability to make a painting by defining or ruining a painting by taking over every other colour you have. You'd say, don't do it, Seb, don't do it. Every art professor tells you never. Well, try and avoid using black. And if you are going to use it sparingly. And then Seb's about to come in here with a big dollop of it and probably ruin the painting. We might. The point is, black is a definer. And in definition, we can find a beauty that we can't get by just scattering drops. At a certain point, we need to stop and say, I want more. I want to see. I want to find. I want to understand. What is this? What is the context? What am I looking at? How much am I allowed to see? These are the questions. There we go. Coming back in. There you are. What do we see, guys? Do we see our man? The little bit of trick really brought out the cheekbone. Yeah. So we're not painting a face though, remember. We're looking at the shapes and letting each individual shape, bit of form, little moments, define the overall painting. We're not going to demand a face appears and control that. If the paint strokes we add don't look like a face, then maybe the photo doesn't look like a face. Don't know what else I can tell you. Here we go. Stress here. Perfect. Needs a little bit more, but not of the black. It needs the last touch of aquamarine blue. So what I'll do here now, guys, is I need your feedback. Thanks, Wendy. Thanks, Connie. I see the boat, yeah, at the bottom there. Right, we're going to get the picture. Here we are. Going to get the picture, and I'm going to put it up against the picture here. Now, the next things I'm going to do, the last parts, I'm going to add a little bit more aquamarine blue through here. That's, where'd I put it? It's this shade here. So it's quite similar to the colours that are here, but it will blend in that turquoise a little bit and add some more warmth down here. And it's also going to go a little bit into the sleeve to show some more folds that occur here. So it's less like a gauntlet and more like a sleeve. You hold this up against it, bring it right up here for you. This is what I love to do. Put it right here. Just get in the right position. There we go. That's the right position right there. Now you tell me. There's our man. There's our man. There's our spot. There we are. So you can see there in the wild, chaotic layers of paint, a slightly lighter saturation. You can see a man hunched over against that wall. You can see that he's happy. You can also see that dark patch down the bottom and this giant garment on top of him. And that's where we're at. Cheers, Jen. I appreciate that. There we have it. All right, so now before I say there we have it, let's possibly ruin it by adding in this blue. Shouldn't say there we have it. And cheers, guys. Appreciate us reaching 20,000 likes. You are absolute champions. That's pretty fun. That's pretty fun. Right. There we are. There we are. Here we go. Let's add this across here. Then touch over here. Teeny bit. Teeny bit. To here. Just little bits. Lessen the intensity of that colour. Mix it in here with some of the blue. Aquamarine into pastels. That gives us more of an aquamarine blue. And with the aquamarine blue, thanks Selma, appreciate that. And thanks Pam. It looks like Princess Diana dress and he rocks it. He does actually rock it. Should ask him, give us a picture of you standing up in the dress, just so we can get some additional context. They might not have taken one. It might just be this moment. I love that. There we go. All right. Let me spin that around to face you. So, excuse the lighting as it captures it, but you will see from that lighting, you'll see the intense amount of texture in all the paint there. Those lights off it. There we go. Spin it there a little bit. Is that seeable? I think that's seeable. Yeah. So you can see the it's very, very it's Picasso in the way, in his blue face, where he got characters and just put them in the middle of a space and said, that's what you're looking at. And then it's got a Monet feel in that there's this almost blurring in the attempt for so many strokes to find definition. And yeah, huge colour palette. So we've got about 40 shades, 40 pigments in here. He's not carrying a pet Selma, but I like where your head's at. And this is part of what we talk about. You can see all sorts of things in paint. In this case here, there's lots of things to be seen in this, and lots of connotations that could come out of this. But fundamentally, the context of this picture is a man. He's wearing a wedding dress which is far too large. He's laid down against a wall, and he's now laughing. And that is a fundamental part of this picture. Now, the next thing to do with this picture is there'll be a few little patches through it where I want to add a little bit of gloss gel, just the gel to it, to emboss out little features, adding more of a 3D effect on the angles, and then also a UV coat to protect it through the course of history. Zaina, otherwise looks perfect. All right, well, Zaina likes it. Perfect. Here we go. Down it comes. And this one here, with the intensity of its colors, it'll likely get a floating frame. Separate it from the world around it, just around that edge there, and probably it'll be black, but we'll see. We will see. All right, down he comes. And now we're on to our next work, obviously. And we've been waiting so patiently to see it. So patiently. Who missed it? Ha 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 ha. Our elephant. Hello, Mr. Elephant. Now, this one's actually technically finished. Guys, no one panic. I'm going to tell you something here. This one's technically finished. We have the correct contrast. We have the correct character. We have everything we need to make this elephant complete. It's all perfect. The form and the lighting and the colors, we're done. But you know what? Sometimes we need to break things. And I say break things in a much more wholesome way than it sounds. A piece of art's finished not when you think it's done, like when I say it's conventionally done. But in this case here, I've got more desire to see where we can go with it than I have love for what it currently is. And so I'm willing to ruin it to see what it could become. So we're going to do that. Now, it may mean that we sacrifice the elephant. We're not sacrificing elephants on this channel. I'm saying figuratively we lose the elephant picture. God forbid. But the process of taking it further, we could get something truly special. And that's worth doing. It's worth fighting for. So, I've just realized that my time lapse wasn't on, which is a disaster. But that's okay. It's going to quickly grab a snap of our elephant friend. Do you usually start with shadows and add color? You can do it however you like. There are no rules. There we go. Fantastic. Got a picture of the elephant. Sorry, there are rules that you can try and follow, but actually they're not so important. Just trying to get one without lights not hitting it. Oh, it's that one up there I see. This is the problem when you have so much texture gels on your work. They don't make it easy to snap. There we go. That's the money shot. Thanks for persevering with me, guys. You can see it. Okay, so I do that because what's happening now, guys, is I'm grabbing a shot of what the elephant looks like just because I want it in my memories. If we do, destroy it. So I know Chrissy Miss Jasmine, but we have to do this because if you start getting overprotective of your artwork and you start saying, no, it's perfect, don't touch it, you'll start controlling the result too much. You won't get lost in the process and you'll never make another masterpiece. Be prepared to destroy them. Not just destroy them for the sake of it, but to overwork it to see where it can go. So let's see where we can take this. I'm going to put this back up here. And maybe, just maybe, we could make something special. But this elephant, it might come to pass that it only exists on digital. Thanks, Mr. Savvy. I appreciate that. Okay. Okay. Victoria's out of here. I'll catch you later, Victoria. We're not destroying the elephant, Rianne. We're going to try and make it better. We're going to try and take it to a new place. But before I do, I am going to go to the bathroom. And then I may get myself a fresh coffee, but we'll see. Anyway, I'm just going to put this up. Bear with me. Here we go. I'll be back in just a second. See you soon, guys. Sorry, guys. The wild card is jug needs to boil. So coffee's ready outside there, but just need this jug to boil to go from there. Do you see the person holding two swords in the center of the elephant? Oh, I kind of do. And she's got like a blouse, right? Like two big shoulder pieces. Cheers, Jen. Jeepers. We're not destroying the elephant because we can. We're destroying the elephant because, not destroying the elephant, we're risking the elephant because we want to see what we can make. See if we can create something different. See if we can improve it. Take it somewhere new. We're willing to risk the elephant to do that. Now, here's the elephant. Here's our picture we're using for inspiration. And there's our result. Boom, 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 boom. Now, let's see what we can do. Now, if anyone here, we did an amazing Zambezi river shot for a man named Russell. The painting now resides in South Africa, and the prints are sold out. But if anyone here does have wildlife photos that I'd like to see turned into paint, I'd love to see them. Not for a commission. Maybe it's not your bag to buy a piece of artwork. But you may just love to see some safari shots that you've taken turned into something like this. So go from there. If you can turn that into some Pringles, I'll be impressed. I can't do that. I'm so sorry. But I'm going to grab my refill. Back in 20 seconds. No need for a timer. There we go. It's a giraffe. Yeah, close. Jeffrey, you saw the work of art. Cool. Oh, perfect colour. That'll be fun. And of course I'm reading the comments. Of course I am. Right, this brush has run its course. We'll take this one off it. And we look at grabbing one of these other brushes. It just depends what brush it will be. I think it'll be this one. Right. Let's see what we can do. Little touches. There we go. Adding in tiny bits of red to highlight that body of his, or hers. Don't know why I assumed the elephant was male, actually. Thanks, Eileen. There we go. There we are. Teeny tiny bits of red. That help define the structure of the bead. I like the elephant trunk, don't like his ears. Don't like the sky, and sort of like the grass. All right. Well, I'm glad you like the trunk. Sorry about the ears. Sorry about the sky. I think we're in a mutual stage about the grass. And over this side. There we go. Step back here for a moment. Have a little gaze. Dive in to some blues. There we go. There we go. Thanks, Jojo. All right. It's a few little dots. There we are. Give a bit more of that simple background. Give it a bit more context. Just teeny tiny bits. It's funny how someone can say stuff that is never printed, or if they do your own art. Isn't it funny how someone can say stuff that is never painted, or they do your own art? I'm not following. It sounds exciting, thought-provoking, but I am not following. Let's put a bit more through here. And a bit more down here. Aussie. He is not. He is a Kiwi. Do you plan on working on the ballerina anymore? No. The ballerina is done. We went on a journey with the ballerina. The ballerina is less about actually adding more paint into it and more. We embodied the journey and, as requested, started in a place of sorrow and then moved on to joy. Anything else added to it now is just bringing it one step closer again and again to craft. And as we do that, we'll take away from the joy or the sorrow that we set out to capture. And I don't want to do that. So the ballerina is finished. Here's the ballerina. Voila. Here's our ballerina. Dancing, raw, and beautiful. There we go. Look. Used orange for the highlighting. Gives a lot of depth. Thank you. Appreciate that. Now, everyone's allowed to hold their opinions and talk smack. That's okay. Try and be nice. But you're also allowed to have your opinion. And that's really, really important for an artist to know. Because sometimes people won't like what you do. But when you find the ones who do, you will find your people. And sometimes we can get caught up thinking it's a bad thing when someone has a negative emotional response to your art. The worst response is ignoring it. That means it was mundane. But if someone doesn't like it, that's awesome. That means there's probably someone out there that does. Where are the jeans gone? It's a humid day. I, like other people on the face of this planet, occasionally change the clothes that I wear. And do so when it suits me. And what an enjoying, thrilling process it can be. I wake up in the morning and I think, what will I wear today? And then I make that decision with free will. And then I wear it. What a thrill. Bonnie is a hero we needed. Justice for Bonnie. There you go. Fabulous colours. Thank you guys. Appreciate that. And hello, Jenna. Welcome back. I like the honesty too. Someone came in here and said they liked the trunk. They didn't like the rest of it. You're also allowed to have that opinion too. Hello, how you doing? Peace, I'm 30. 30 years old. 30 years young. Regardless, it's 30 years. There we go. The warm sienna. This is the colour we want. It's not the hero we asked for, but it's the hero we got. Thanks, make my day 22. Birthday? My birthday. Ooh. You want to send me a birthday present? Sounds exciting. Wait, is that your style of painting, adding a bunch of different colours? Is it a bad thing? Wait a minute, is your style of painting to use colours? How dare he? How dare he do that? The audacity of the man. Painting's not about colour. Painting's about what you want it to be about. Painting's a journey to self-expression. Painting's a way of connecting with other people. The better the painting, the better the connection. What was that there? I missed it. Pearson. Thanks, mate. Oh, thanks, Cup Canosa? Cup Canosa? Thank you so much. It's an absolute pleasure or an honour to get paired with a guy whose greatest triumph was spreading more happiness in the world. Got to appreciate that. Oopsie daisies. I did that classic thing again where you don't start the time lapse. Someone needs to tell me off for doing that. It's not the first time, it won't be the last. You call that a silly billy. There we go. The reason I asked, is because that's how I paint. Those would be the hues for me. There you go. Yeah, so I typically send the hues in all directions. I prioritize form the most, even though it may not seem like it. Prioritizing form and allowing the hues to be whatever I think they need to be to best accentuate the form I was after. But tomorrow I might think differently. So don't take my word on that. There we go. What inspired you to paint in the first place? How did I know I was so good at it? Well, you wouldn't believe I was good at it if you read some of the comments sometimes. It chops and it changes. It depends who's looking at it. I'm lucky that you're looking at it right now and you like it. Someone else will look at it tomorrow and they'll hate it. And that's okay. That's what art's about. And if you want to get or be an artist, you need to get thick skin. Elephant skin. Because elephant skin is what you'll need when someone gives you their real, raw opinion on your work. Right, last colour. You have to end your live in 5. Permanent ban dude warning on here. You have to end your live. Permanent ban. I don't think so. I think this is a lovely, wholesome place. I think everyone's looking after each other. Here we go. Thanks, Jay Smith. Well, if it does end, then that's a big old pity, because we're just here spreading some love. If TikTok's not about that, that's a big old shame. Here we go. Maybe he got reported because someone was like, he needs to stop touching that elephant. He's added enough paint to it already. He only stands to ruin it now. The colour we're adding into it now, it's orange. Raw orange. With the goal of just getting the last few strokes. We're almost there. Hello, Steve. How you doing, Steve? Good to have you in the chat room for what could be the last 5 minutes. Kidding. I kid. And we're done. We are done. Who had fun there? I had fun. Right. G'day, Max. How you doing? And I missed anyone's comment there? Yeah, so we've had some fun there. We did a few little tweaks. We added in those blues, and we added in a little bit of orange, and we added in a few little touches of red. So just some vibrant colours to capture some more of those little wrinkles here and there. Let's have a look-see at that from ding. There's the picture. There's where we're at. There's our wild elephant. Bear in mind that we were not prioritising the actual exact existence of the elephant, its exact form. We want to capture those little moments, little details, seeing them one at a time individually, and hopefully, if we did it well, an elephant would emerge. So, this one is finished. We'll get it photographed on Wednesday. Prints will be available. And the original will hopefully go onto the website. But if you want to beat it before it goes on the website, there's been a lot of inquiries around this one. DM me or email me. Once I'll get it framed and I'll let you know where we get to. Down you come, Mr. Elephant. Now, the question is, what do we do next? What do we do next? Down you go, Mr. Elephant. Here we go. Here we go. Let's do something a little bit silly. A Rambo lorikeet. Sounds exciting. Down this one can go. All right. Aurelia, that's funny. It's a good one. Okay, guys. Frank Gomez, go on to the link in my bio, and you'll find everything you need from there. Otherwise, just Google Seb Gower Art, and you should find a thing or two. Or at least some links to take you in the right direction with a bit of luck. Depending on where in the world you're based. Here we go. Perfect. A big gesso primed canvas. Now the question in here, what's the Twitter? It's Seb Gower Art. And has anyone ever painted me? Yes. But I don't know where those paintings would be. Right, guys. We're going to do one more picture. This is just a fun board. A fun board I had left over. Now, since we're in quite a fun stage, in that we've completed all our current canvases. We've got a few, rainbow lorikeet. We've got a few works that are drying. We've got a few works that have been framed. We've got a few works that have their final coats on them. We've got 2 more commissions coming through, we've got 2 more commissions. One is Parrots, and one is undecided at the stage. And then one other one, which is going to be a beautiful garden, and it's going on the most incredible surface. I don't have it in my possession yet, the surface. When I do, we're going to study it in depth because it's phenomenal. The accent is a New Zealand accent, but I need your help. I need your help to decide, what are we putting on this? And I don't think we just want to I don't think we just want to slap any old thing on the picture by going into Google. Does anyone have a special picture? A special picture is what we're after. Who's got something meaningful to them? Maybe you took a picture at some stage. Maybe you've had a picture. Maybe something meaningful that you care about. Max. All right, guys, so what we'll do is, I really need a box to submit it. Jump on, I'll tell you what. Let me put this up. Let's go like this. If I go here, can I get this to work? Or am I too silly? I might be too silly. Here we go. I'm going to go like this. Enhance. Effects, stickers. Here we go. Alright, Seb. I've chucked this up there. If you can navigate it, that's the Instagram handle. I'm going to grab my phone. You can use the Instagram handle, the emails, and you've got from now, to send through some pictures. And when we find the right one, we'll start. This is going to be exciting. I was going to finish here, but you know what? I do feel like slapping around some paint. So, cheers, baby. My cat Chris's adoption and the SPCA website is pretty special. I kept it as a reminder. That's fun. Right. So, Instagram, emails, all these places are fantastic. I'm on the Instagram right now. Let me see here. That's a fun one. That's a fun one, Steve. I'm a fan. I love that. That's another goodie. All right. We've got some fun things coming through. If you've got a picture, I'll tell you what, we'll give it, let me have a look-see here. I'll put a little timer up, eh? Here we go. 5 minutes. In fact, that's going to make someone panic. We can pick one before this, but I'm going to set this to, there we go. So this is a definitive. Once we hit the bottom of that timer, I'm definitely starting. But if we get something, in the interim, let's see what we get. All right, coming on through. What else have we got here? Let's have a look-see. Wiggums. All right. Big old puppy dog. Big fan. Big fan. Amethyst. Your niece from Disney. Love it. That's fantastic. Let's see here. Dun, 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 dun. Christian. We've got them rocking in, guys. I'll flick that to there. There we go. That's a beautiful landscape. Beautiful. Philo. Oh, the nephew. Nice, nice. That's fun. That's fun. Here we go. Who else have we got coming through here? We've got one here from Wendy Brown. Guys, this is a fun one. I'll show you this one just because this is very, very Kiwi. Well done, Wendy. Here we go, guys. This is Wendy's suggestion. We've got a giant Watties can. Well, what would be a giant Watties can? And a chip and a hot dog. That would be, this is the kind of thing that looks really, really cool as a realism painting, because you can literally see all the little details, and it's beautiful to see it in such a large scale. Or a large photo. Both those would work great. Giant Watties can. I love that. That's the sort of thing that's really fun when someone spends days on, you know? Mark coming in here. That's gorgeous. That's fantastic. So Mark's got a beautiful picture of his hand being held by a small child. That is just beautiful. We've got some beautiful, I won't show the ones of the kids' faces, but there's some beautiful children coming through here. Children, family members. Here we go. How much longer have we got? We're picking in 7 minutes. Let's have a look-see here. Nam's come in here. Ha! That's actually a pretty cool one. That's... Nam, you've taken a funky shot there. Check this dog out. That's a fun picture of a dog. Alright, let's have a look-see here. We've got a cat. We've got a cat called Chris. That's pretty fun. There we go. Little cat there. Little cat just hanging out. That'd be quite fun because he'd really blend into the white behind him. So you get this really interesting take on what a cat should look like. Oh, Frank Gomez. Jeepers creepers. Wow. Frank Gomez. That is just something else. Wow, Frank. Wow, guys, check this one out. This is, wow. I'm going to show you this one. Check this. Pow. Look at that. Man alive. That is an intense photo of a parrot. This is, when you look at that, the composition of it. Okay. Stop sending them through. Stop. I'm going to go through what we've got. I love the Wendy's, the Watties can. That's awesome. That one will do a lot better as a realism painting. And I'm a bit more wild and impressionist style. So it'll come off real abstract, which would be cool. But this parrot is just, oh me, lively days. There's some cool pictures here, Frank. Okay, then you got some yellow ones here. You got all kinds of parrots. But I tell you what, that's the one there, that red parrot, Frank. That's where you're really kicking a goal. That's where you're really kicking a goal. Woo! Picasso sent me a picture here. Okay, let's see what Picasso's got. Good looking dog, Picasso. Good looking dog. I like your style. Christina, what do we got here? Christina. You have got a very, very nice camera. That is a fantastic picture of your cat. I like that one. That's a great one. Let's have a look-see here. And then Jamie, want to make sure that someone didn't send through a banger that we're missing out on here. Jamie, these are some cool shots, Jamie. They're quite fun. I like these shots. The kids there with their ice creams would be really fun. That would do a cool big picture. Sorry, Max, we are going to start. I swear to God. I just want to make sure no one misses out. The other one that had it before the Parrot that I was in love with was Steve's. Steve sent through a Hawaiian dancer. I'll show you a... Oh, wow. It's mine 8. That's a cool one. That's a cool one, guys. Check this out. That's just a really... That's wild. There's like multiple characters there flipping in all directions, doing all sorts of wild stuff. Big fan. Big fan. Okay. Hold on. Hold the horses. Okay, we're going to check this last one out here. Here from Mark Anthony. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful child, Mark. Here we go. And we're coming in here. Yeah, Steve. Great dog. Great dog. Here's the Hawaiian dancer from Steve as well. This is a really, really cool shot. The reason why this is really compelling, the greens and the yellows dancing with each other, those trees, the form of everything, and it's got tons of movement in it. So that's a really cool shot. Yeah, big fan of that one. That one would look cool as well because of the amount of colors in it if it had like 15 layers. So we're going to hold on that one, Steve, but I love the Hawaiian dancer. We're on the right track there. Philo, gorgeous dog, Philo, and perfect. Sweet as, guys. All right, pause there. We are going to do our lovely, lovely bird. That's the plan. That is just Frank. That picture is just an absolute slapper. Wow. That, like, compositionally, everything works fantastically. What I'll do is I'm going to just quickly plug in the printer. There we go. Put that into there. Turn that on there. There we go. Put that there. All right, Frank. That macaw is it called macaw or is it Steve? They are my parrots, Frank. This is Frank's parrot. All right. Now we're just going to paint it right here. It's going to be wild, and this is going to be really fun too because we actually have a portrait of 3 parrots coming up. I've done a few side ones. I've done a few side ones as 30,000 likes. You guys are champions. That's fun. I've done a few parrots on the side, get the hang of the flow and the movement of parrots. It'll be fun to do a big one before we kick into our actual commission, which is an absolutely fantastic. It'll be about 8 layers of 3 parrots in a line. It's going to be absolutely awesome. But this is a fun one to start with. All right. We're not going to make a phenomenal 15-layer piece of artwork, guys. That's not what we're doing. We're doing a quick hour session, maybe less, maybe a little bit more, but we're paying. Gonna put a parrot on here for all the fun we could have. Now, let's get this printed off. Now my printer also says it's low on ink, so this is gonna be fun because this means if it runs out halfway through the picture, we'll just have some funny colors coming into it. Right. It's just getting itself sorted now. Making all the right noises. It's going to start printing for us. If it doesn't, we'll just put on an iPad here. So we've got plenty of solutions. It'll be fine. Put this down here. Here we go. So no matter what, we are sorted. Yeah, I can hear it printing. It's because the photo is so high quality, I think it's throwing it off. if yeah, Twitter and the other things, if you want those, link in the bio. There's Twitter, there's these replays of these shows, these live sessions, you can find on YouTube. They're fantastic. There's about, how many we got there now? About 250? 200? We've got a lot of replays. We've been doing this for a long time, guys. This is fun. This is great. We'll do some kind of celebration for 365 or something. But replays are on YouTube. Seb Gower Art, you should be able to find it and subscribe from there. And Twitter's there, Instagram's there, TikTok's there. If you haven't found TikTok, TikTok's really fun, guys. Have you downloaded TikTok? Right. The name is Jewel. Jewel. Yes, indeed. Her name is Jewel. I got her when when the Rio movie came out. Oh, good. Good. I saw the Rio movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I like that. I like a story that goes along with it. Not breathing until you say hi to me. That's not very constructive, Michael. Hello, Michael. Keep breathing, but holding your breath can be good for health. Hello, John. How you doing? All right. If you can hear that ching, ching, ching noise in the background, it is printing out, which means I won't need to bring it up on my iPad. I do like plasma screens, but sometimes it's a little bit niggly. I like paper, you know. I'm old school. Hello, Morris. Right. Oh, here it comes. It looks perfect. How long have I been a painter for? The years tick by. As I become more decrepit. I've been painting since as far back as I can remember, which is actually true, but I'm saying it dramatically. I've been painting since forever, guys. Maybe since I was 3, 2, but full-time painting 2.5 years, and then part-time past that. We're still on 199 team members. Someone needs to join the team and bring us to 200. I'm not sure how you do it, but someone needs to join it before we finish this Parrot. Right. So, plan. We have our pen. With a pen, we're going to mark out the big shapes in the picture. After we've marked out the big shapes in the picture, why a brown paintboard? Because we're having some fun. And also, board's great. This one here's got a lot of tooth. Normally I'd smooth the tooth off. We're not going to worry about that for this painting. And the smooth surface is very, very fun to paint on. The old masters used to paint on board. So don't get caught up in your head thinking it has to be canvas, because board's amazing. And plus, when it comes to framing and things, it's much flatter. So if you're putting artwork in a hallway, usually board's better for a couple of reasons. First reason, it doesn't occupy too much of the hallway. It stays flatter against the wall. Second reason, if you're going down the hallway, you're running down it with kids or moving furniture, and you bump it, you know what doesn't care? A board. You bump a canvas, you stretch the surface, and it needs to get re-stretched. Thanks, Paul, you absolute champion. Appreciate that. Appreciate all the cranes. So typically, if you're putting it in a hallway where people are wandering down, you're like, oh, I don't have kids, it doesn't matter. Okay, if you don't have kids, you're throwing house parties. Someone walks down the hallway drunk to go to the bathroom, leans for a moment, touches the canvas, ruined. Got to get re-stretched. Like, board's pretty cool. It's versatile, it's strong, it works just as well as canvas. If you're using masonite, then it's actually going to last indefinitely because there's no chemicals in it. This stuff is good. So you're talking to a board advocate, but I'll swap backwards and forwards. If I'm planning on using a floating frame, that's for canvas only. The board's too thin for a floating frame. But if you're planning on framing with a regular frame, with an overbite, board's perfect. Board's the only way to do it. Right. Here we go. Au parit. Pouah. Cool. Never thought about that. Well, now you have. Welcome to the party. Where do they... They make them in New Zealand. Hello, Kayla. How you doing? Right, our parrot's up. Our canvas is ready. We have our pen. We are good to go. Thank you very much. Was it Frank? Frank, for the picture. You absolute champion. Frank, if you need to go to bed before we're finished, do not worry. The time lapse will be up in the story on TikTok and Instagram, and the replay will be on YouTube. So you got a bunch of places to go for. And if I do an embarrassingly bad job, you won't be able to find it anywhere. So keep that in mind. Okay, right. We've got our picture here. I'm starting the time lapse on the phone. And then let's use, this is a little acrylic pen. The reason I use one of these is I like to mark out the areas that I care about before I start. And since we're doing it in a single coat, this is very, very important to use because it stops me from putting large, copious amounts of black in places where it doesn't need to be. Because if I put too much black down and it doesn't dry, what's going to happen is I won't be able to get the popping colors that I want. I'll have to keep compromising from my defining, strong, invincible, black acrylic paint. Now, I don't want to do that. I couldn't help myself there, guys. I'm not ever supposed to draw things that I want to draw. I put a little eyeball in there. I got naughty me. You never do that. You never put in an eyeball because you think you see an eyeball. That's a recipe for disaster. There we go. You only want to paint what you actually see. Otherwise, we're not even doing impressionism. We're doing a, I don't know what we're doing. Not doing what we want to be doing. Now bear in mind that these aren't trying to be incredible guidelines. It's just me seeing the areas where I want to put weight. What areas in this painting do I find important? Why are they important to me? There we go. There we are. Okay. Right. How long do I think the parrot will take? About an hour. I reckon about an hour. Right, so you see there, we've done some big lumping areas. The big squiggles are where I'm saying that's going to be deep black. And so the next stage I do is I get my carbon black, my deep, strong carbon black, to go in there and define the shadows of the image. Do you have to do that? Nah. Do I always do it? Nah. We're doing it this time. Why? Because we feel like it. If we wanted to start with pink, we'd start with pink. We could start with red. The only thing we'd lose with red is that the red will sink back behind the other colors, and we want it out the front, in front of everything. We want the blacks at the back, so we'll start with those. How long we'll be able to see your artwork from your live feed? How does being able to see your artwork with your live feed help when you're drawing? Sometimes it's the best help you can possibly get. Sometimes it's your worst nightmare because you're sitting there seeing how poorly you're doing. So, really, it's hit or miss. Do you need it? Nah. Is it fun to have it? Yeah. Another day, another pair of shorts. Yeah, humid day. Someone was in here before asking me why I wasn't wearing long pants, and I'm like, come on, mate. It's called weather. It changes all the time. Right, here we go. Bigger brush. Benjamin. Oh yeah, thanks. Thanks, Jay Smith, you champion. The amount of people who would have unanswered questions if I was here by myself. There we go. How much would I sell it for? It depends, Frank. It really depends. Because what happens is you take up things like framing, time, materials. Hard to put a value on something before you've started it. Us artists aren't as good as builders when it comes to making up quotes. Here we go. Here we are. And there. In here, there we go. Capturing those dark black areas. Hey Scud, how you doing? Here we go. So again, we're ignoring the fact there's a parrot here. All we're seeing is those darker areas. That's what I want. I want that darkness. I'll paint over it, but right now, that's all I want. And hopefully, if I have any kind of coordination, or I can really relax and see what makes this parrot a parrot, the actual shapes, contours and style, then maybe, just maybe, we might make something special. There we go. Just those little bits coming in there. Right. Thanks, Animal Kingdom. You missed out. You would have loved the elephant we were doing. If you're a fan of the Animal Kingdom. Right. Connie. We'll catch you later, Connie. Thanks for joining me. It was fantastic having you here for most of it. You absolute champion. Here we go. And then down through here. There we go. A lot of tooth in this canvas. So it wants to suck up a lot of paint. We'll work with that. Hey Sarah, how you doing? Sarah's like, all I needed when I woke up this morning, after I had my pumpkin spice latte, if I could just find a Kiwi painter painting a red parrot, then I could find what I need to paint. And she goes on TikTok later on in the day, and all of a sudden, oh my God. Well, that's a surprise. Here we go. Down in here. One leg. Again, these legs are largely in black. My phone, you don't want to miss this painting. Don't worry, there'll be time lapses. Unless, of course, I do an awful job. Then you'll have a really hard time finding evidence of this online. Here we go. There we go. It's 7 a.m. I just woke up in London, UK. Well, Sarah, welcome. That's pretty fun. London, UK. Well, I'm not far off. Sitting down in front of the TV, watching some... Oh, no, I watched all my show. Finished Good Omens. What am I going to do with myself now? Tragic. My God, what am I going to do with myself now? Here we go. There we are. It's 1:20 a.m. where you're at. Wow. All right. I've kept you up. Naughty me. That's okay though. A little bit in here. A little bit all the way to the top there. There we go. Also, guys, fantastic suggestions came in. There were some really cool pictures. I hope everyone agrees or is happy to say that Frank's picture is pretty cool. Here we go. There we go. Right. Do you ever get sleep? All the time. Arguably, I sleep too much. It's like when Eric Thomas was talking about 50 Cent. It's like, he said, when do you sleep, 50? And he said, I've got an opportunity to make a dream become a reality. I don't sleep. Of course, I'm already living my dream, but maybe one day if I get into the rap game, I'll say a similar thing. Favorite book for the summer? Jeepers. What would my favorite book for the summer be? I haven't got one right now. But we are going to attack this picture with... Yeah, I do. I do. My towel has gone the distance. It needs to be refreshed. There you go. Selling one sculpture. Kidding, that is worthless. All right. Guess which color we've got coming in now. Here we go. That intense, popping, demanding red. Coming over this picture. With all of its vibrant intensity. Ooh la la. That is correct. Pow. So we'll cut back over the top of the red with magentas and oranges and all those other little beautiful colors. But for now, I want to see how much red makes up this parrot. And we'll start to really see it jumping off the page at us from there. There we go. There we go. How did you discover your love for painting? It's a good question. Kind of always had it. When your parents are, my mother watched me very closely when I was younger and thought, this boy has an absolute craving for creative things. I'm going to help facilitate that. And then here I am, painting, doing what I love, creating. There's something fun about making. A lot of the time, I say this a lot, but we get so hung up on end processes. I think it's not just a problem with painters in general, but it's more of a symptom today. That we really, whatever we do, there needs to be a goal or an outcome that comes with it. We can't just pointlessly paint. And if we can't just pointlessly paint, we can't make art. Because art cares nothing for the point you're trying to make. Only for the exploration of what it's trying to do. Trying to be. And by that be, I don't mean the future. Art cares nothing for the past or the future. All it cares about is the now. And if you can't be in the now when you paint, you can't make art. Here we go. Let's get a little bit more over here. There we go. There's our reds down. Right, down with that plate. Picking up the next one. Bang. Hey, Bronwyn. Good to see a familiar face. Picking up my rag that's well overused. Well, there's lots of familiar faces in here. You are the art Sue. I'm the art Sue. I sue art. Maybe. Oh, I think the art is you. I think that's a fun statement to make, but I think the art's separate from the person. But it's a wonderful way for people to actually connect and understand each other, because at the end of the day, I think this world's crazy. This world's hard. We get detached from each other so quickly, but there's something primal and raw about a rudimentary process where you get liquid paint, liquid color, and then get a tool and apply it to a 2D surface. There's something we can all connect with about that. Similar to a cave painting, we still have value in it. It's kind of special. Thanks, Mike. Good to see you here, by the way, Mike. It's been a while. Right, next color. What's it gonna be? Before we lose too much of the surface, we're gonna do something quite naughty. We're gonna grab the white and attack these giant white areas through here. And then we'll cut over the top of it. Those hands just, with the... did I lunge at the screen? I'm so sorry. Sorry, Dane. Right, here we go. Let's get a little bit of this. A whole lot of this. There we are. That tube's out of paint. A little bit of this. The GIF came up right as you were talking about connection. Yeah, but I think at a fundamental level, that's what art's about. And I feel that when I look at cave painting, like when I look at those hands, when they sprayed berry juice onto a hand and onto a cave wall. Yeah, no, not evolution, just free will. I'm still wearing a nice shirt. This is Barker's, baby. Still a believe. Dress smart. Wear a nice shirt. Don't get paint everywhere. It's a hot day. I don't want to sweat in jeans for 4 hours while I paint. I think we can all agree that that would be silly. I say wear nice clothes when you paint, but be comfortable, guys. Don't put on stuff to be in a role to be uncomfortable. Like, my advice for dress smart, paint smart was never put yourself in an uncomfortable situation to then produce your art. The dress smart part is supposed to make you more in the mood to paint. Oh, the gift animation. Sorry, Dane. I thought I lunged at the screen there a little bit and you got one of those YouTube video frights. And I was apologizing. Here we go. Let's get that around here. And then down here. And then around here. There we go. Now, an element of this painting is we do want to make it more gestural, more wild. It's part of the fun. Part of the fun. Don't want to limit it. There we go. Here's that bit around the eye. Isn't that fun? There we go. Now, how does this... This is like the fingerprint of a parrot. We want to get this right. But through there, coming down there, another one there, and there's a frilly one that comes in here, doubles up, pulls in under there, and then we got a big one. Yeah, we do. No, Seb, you're not counting right. There we go. There's one more there, one more, and then there's the big one. There we go. There's the big fella. Bottom of the face. Again, I think this is important. I don't know about, Frank will have to tell us, I don't know about parrots too well, but I think that these markings on the face, this is like the fingerprint of a parrot. And so it's pretty important that we don't just make these up. There we go. It goes in there. And this comes through here. 1, 2, 3. We can be gestural with it. Don't make them up. We got to actually paint what we see. That's vital. There we go. And then that beak. All right. As much as the probably those markings around the eyes reflect the parrot's unique identity, so too do I imagine the way this beak is formed and the shades and the contours of this beak reflect the parrot. They're probably all slightly unique. So we'll capture that. There we go. That comes down to there. And that comes through there. We've left that other bit in there. Temptations to grab it. It's not white. Don't touch it. Here we go. This goes in here. And this goes through here. Here's the white that goes on this log. In here. Then down this log, cuts in there, and then down the end, just like that. Around this log. We're not going to worry too much about too much detail on this log. We'll do the overarching colors, but this is not something to get hung up on. In this case here, we're not trying to capture the whole picture itself. We're trying to capture the personality of the parrot. We're prioritizing that. He looks sad. Well, that's because he doesn't have his eye sorted yet, but we're not prioritizing the eye over the rest of the picture just yet. You make painting look through it. Yeah, it's a nightmare. Painting is a nightmare. Because when it comes to painting, I think I believe this, that actually when you paint, if you don't actually allow yourself to be open and psychologically exposed, I know it sounds cheesy, but if you carry your insecurities and think to yourself, it's got to be like this so other people can see it and like it and therefore like me, you'll strangle the whole painting and it'll never come to be what you want it to be. But if you can let that go and just be and do the process and have faith that at the end of the process, someone might like what you made, then you can drop those insecurities and you can actually Make something special, not for the rest of the world. If you do this, you realize it isn't for anyone else, it's for you. And then once you realize that that process, that creation, that enjoyment, that flow state was for you, suddenly other people do find that love because you've touched into something special. Frank Gomez. Yeah, I can see why that one's a little scary, but Dream Team, I like it. Right, let's stand back a little bit. What's the next color going to be? Bada bing bang boom. Let's see here. It is going to be, I want to put some blues in there, but that's probably getting ahead of myself. There's a few more whites to capture above the parrot's head, and there's a little bit around that eye. All right, we're going to grab red gold. We're back. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. My little device just ran out of batteries. It's really cool. Oh no, this one's alive. That one's dead. We're here now. We're back. But I appreciate everyone telling me, because sometimes we go for a awkwardly long time where I'm talking to myself and no one's telling me. So I appreciate the quick response there, guys. That was pretty fun. Right, here we go. While I'm here too, I had a question. I don't mean to be an idiot. Can someone tell me what gang gang means? I saw someone say it on TikTok a lot. On what was it, TikTok Live? Or it was a reel? It's no gang, good game. Oh, good game? Gang gang, good game. I can get behind that. Good game. Gang gang. Alright, gang gang. I'm going to add that to my collection of cool things to say. And amongst slaps, hits, and dip. Oh god. If I say that on TikTok, I bet the word's going to get out there. Everyone's going to be like, alright, stop saying gang gang. Suddenly it's not cool anymore. It's what AI streamers say. What's an AI streamer? God, what is it? What is an AI streamer? An AI streamer. Look at this educational session we're having here. An AI streamer is a favorite cologne. I like a one called Crazy One from an airport. I forget where it is. I forget. But honestly, whatever cologne you like, put it on. You'll be great. It's more about the thing about cologne. This is what happens a lot of the time. People are like, I want to get one that everyone likes. You know who has to smell it most of the time? You. So get one that you like, that makes you feel good, that makes you feel cool, and put that on. Cologne's not something you do to please everyone else. You do it for your own psychological feel-good factor. At least that's what I reckon. I saw a JK in there. Does that mean it doesn't mean good game? Gang gang? No. I put on cologne, but look, honestly, I know when I put it on though. Remind yourself, I'm doing this for me because I'm smelling it 97% of the time. That's a fact. Like, that's not even me having you on. That's a fact. And I love it. I have a few people in my life who put one on, wear it for a while, and then want a new one. And so I get like a few cologne bottles from different people. So I've got like a selection of 4 that I didn't buy. But when I put them on, I feel great. I'm not going to lie to you right now. It's something I do. I put on cologne to paint sometimes. If I'm not feeling too great about myself, and I want that little pick-me-up, put my speaker in so I can listen to music, and put a little cologne on. Let myself smell good. Why? It's going to make me feel better. And it's going to make you feel better, it's going to be right. There we go. Is this painting for sale? It is not for sale. Not for sale. Sorry. Frank's like, I'm buying it. That's me, baby. That's me. That's the end of the big brush. We are going down a size. But to where we go? This is the question. Right, we're going to go to these two. Venetian pink, to get those colours that aren't quite pink, aren't quite red, but have those, see that next to the parrot there? That's important. And then we've got this one here, which is deep magenta. Deep magenta. Now this one's more of a unused colour in this parrot, but we will find some pinks. Well, deep magentas. And go from there. Hello Elite. Hello Elite. Yeah, so what we've done today, guys, for a bit of fun, I had one leftover board, and we're putting a fan's work on the board. So that's pretty cool, because we had a lot of submissions, a lot of cool art came through, and we decided to attack the parrot. It's a humongous parrot, which I find kind of fun. I love the parrot because, not that one. We've got a parrot commission coming up, so this is a great opportunity to hone my skills on the actual design of a parrot. If you look at it a little bit, you'll notice some fun perspective things in it. The feet, compared to the head, wildly different, because he's hooked on there and he's leaning forward on you. So we're expressing that. Right, which one are we going to go for here? Alright, decision made. There we go. Scrumdiddlyumptious red. This is correct. It's exactly what kind of red it is. Cheers, Courtney. Not quite, but you know what, Courtney? One day, in this big old crazy world, if you have enough courage to be yourself as often as you can, you might find someone who loves you to bit who will propose. You deserve it. Hey, Trina. Alright, let's have a look-see here. Let's kick off with the vermilions, and then we'll move into the Venetian pinks. Vermilion's super similar to red gold, but it's just a little bit more poppy. Here we go. Where do you find references for your paintings? Well, what I do is I go on the stream and I say to everyone, guys, does anyone know a guy called Frank who's into parrots? And then Frank suddenly, who was cooking at the time and ignoring the stream, ears perk up and he's like, oh, that's me. And then he sends me a picture of his parrot. And then we paint the parrot. Other than that, copyright-free images as references are great. Otherwise, you can get them, take them yourself. Otherwise, contact photographers. A lot of them don't mind. Ask them, can I paint this? You're not asking for rights to the image. You're just asking for a fun thing to paint. A lot of photographers are pretty cool about that. Here we go. You'd be like, but I asked a photographer once and he said no, or he wanted money. Yeah, well, ask the next one. Some people do photography just as a hobby, and they would be over the moon to know that you actually wanted one of their pictures to paint. To be like, look, this picture that you've got here really moved me. I'd like to turn it into paint. How do you feel? And old Mike, Sally, or whoever is like, yes, that sounds like fun. Go for it. What's the white liquid you put into the paint? That's a great question. It is a fast drying medium, a gloss medium, and a transparency medium. Boom, boom, boom. Gang, gang. Did I use that right? Sorry, guys. Gang, gang. So it's a transparency liquid. It's a fast drying liquid, and it's a extender for acrylic. It's a whole bunch of things all blended into one. And the reason I do that is because then the layers dry quickly. I can paint over them. It's also a bada bing bung bung, a gloss gel so it stays looking wet like acrylic should, like oils do, and acrylics I want them to. So it does a bunch of different effects. You can blend it in a bunch of different ways too. You don't need to copy my blend. You can do your own stuff. Add crackle pastes, whatever you like. Do you play Flesh and Sway Mac? Yes, I do. I like that game. It's got an aggressive name, but I'm no good at it. I play Levia, and I play it terribly. I was very excited when the new set came out. If anyone's wondering what I'm talking about, I'm a geek. I'm like, yeah, I play cards. And I play them very poorly. But you know what? I like my hobbies. You're allowed yours, I'm allowed mine. And Australian, no. We are in the land of the long white cloud. This is New Zealand. Let's get this energy in here. There we go. Parrot feathers. It's important when we're doing parrot feathers that we actually move a little bit as if we're doing the feathers. Really stroke them out. There we go. Beautiful. You're bad. You bad? Did I miss something? Probably. It sounds like me. There we go. Let's get that through there. And let's dance through here. Fantastic. My God, guys. Gang, gang. Why Kiwi, not NZ? Because Kiwi is a slang term for New Zealanders. So they call us Kiwis, after the fruit and the bird. And we don't mind that one little bit. You saw an elephant. Well, I can hear bikes, but I was hoping you'd be able to see a parrot. But you know what? You can't have everything in this world. So, if you can't see a parrot, you can't see a parrot. But I can see a parrot, and that's what's important. And I'm having fun making a parrot. Here we go. Frank had some really cool pictures of parrots. He had a whole collection. And Steve, you seem to know a thing or two about parrots. From your comments, I got an I know parrots kind of vibe from your comments. Here we go. Is that for an exhibit? No, this is a send in pictures, fans. Let's do something sporadic. I think there's something fun about that too, because as I'm realizing what I love about this image and the different facts about this image, we're doing it in real time. Can't cheat this, can't lie this. There's something about an image you've never seen before in the way you capture it. There's a raw nature to it. There's a uncontrollable wild card you've just got to enjoy. This actually goes all the way up into here. There we go. There we are. So we come across there. Then this is actually going to lap around here. There we go. And then up here. There's our eyeball. There's our parrot. Woo! Staring at you. I couldn't help myself. I know I was talking about not doing things like eyes and things, but it was right there. Had to go for it. And it's a fun painting. If we want to, we'll deviate. We'll do what we like. It's part of the fun. Can you show the plate? Of course I can. Voila! Big old mess. You see there? There's the ribs of the parrot. There's the black there of that one. But be careful. I'd watch me closely. Some people believe that on this channel we fake it. But he's not actually painting. I'm suspicious too sometimes, to be honest. There we go. A little bit in there. But sometimes it's a really good message too, guys. Sometimes someone leaps on and he's like, he's not actually painting. And I'm like, that is very helpful advice right now. And the reason it's helpful is it means I've got way too focused on minute details. There is a whole picture here that demands my attention. So in those moments, you look at yourself and go, right, change now. Not all the time. Sometimes people are just wrong. But sometimes they're saying the right thing in that you're getting caught up on a tiny bit of detail down here when there's a bigger picture at stake. Have you tried to paint on wood, not on canvas? This is wood. Not only is it wood, we're painting wood on wood. So we've got all the things. And I hope you like it. Right. Now we're going to get that same black colour. We've got our blue, Chinese blue. We've added a bit of our gloss gel to it before we get in there with our pink. And we're going to find those areas with that blue in it. There's a few little spots, a couple linking through here, a lot through here, one there, a couple down here, then the pinks, then some greens, and then we'll see. Who knows? Who knows? I've got a feeling after that, a little bit of aquamarine blue, and we'll be very, very close to what we want this painting to look like. There we go. There's a layer there. And up here, this colour here is perfect for these paws. Paws? Claws. We'll come back though with another shade before we're finished there. A little bit more through here. And I'm real sorry if I miss any comments, guys. I'm trying to keep up, but I'm also trying to hammer out the details of this parrot. So these two things are causing me to yin yang. And if I miss anyone's comment, it wasn't intentional. Unless it was. I wouldn't do that. Thanks, Wes. Appreciate you. There we go. It's just going to go in here. And then down through here. And then through there. Ooh, where else are we going to go? Not through there, that's different. But there. There's a little bit there. Okay, we're spotting areas of bluish grey. That's what we're doing. Little pockets here and there. We're not going to get overexcited and start adding it into everywhere, because it's not everywhere. There's tiny little spots of it here and there. And there's that back there. And that there. Then we're going to come across here, that's all bluish grey. That little triangle there, that was waiting for us. Up the side here, there we go, that's that intense pop bit that we needed. And then up here, there's a little triangle, followed by a little lumpy lump. You're all good. Oh, actually, Shelby, that's a good bet. We do need stuff in the supermarket. I'm not prepared for dinner. Might be opposite of that advert that used to be on TV. She wasn't expecting that. No, she wasn't prepared for that. But she was prepared for dinner. I'm the opposite. I'm not prepared for dinner, Shelby. These guys have kept me online here, Shelby. They've demanded I paint them a parrot. I would have nothing to do with it. I was trying to go to sleep. I'd actually call it bullying. Thanks, Vernon, you champion. Here we go, a little bit in here, a little bit through there, a little bit here. And then we can come on down here, there's a bit, it's going to ghost down through there. Not quite sure what it is, but there is some blue tone there, we're not going to leave it out. And then down there a little bit, and then a lot over here, right the way to the edge. Fantastic. Okay, up next, back we go. Always pull back, reassess, cool, and then re-engage. Stay too close for too long, start making mistakes. Sometimes they're happy little mistakes, and other times it's just you going down a wormhole and getting too caught up in it. Whether it's your job, your love life, a painting of a parrot, sometimes it's good to step back, evaluate, in order to re-engage. Sometimes from a different angle, with more intention. You never know. You never know. Right, there's lots of this through here. This is, I get a lot of this colour. Just some little pink highlights in the parrot. You see how it's quite delicate? It's not so intense, it's not changing that red that much, but it's just adding that little bit of 3D nature to the parrot. As if there's a curve in the actual parrot's feathers. There we go. There we are. Fantastic. Now, here's our other pink. This is our Venetian pink. We didn't use this at the start. Aha! Thanks, Shell. We appreciate that. Appreciate that. Now, little bits. Little bits. There we go. Little cuts there. There's a lot through here. There we go. Quite sporadic. We're not going to let that be a nice thick stroke. That's little bits. And then up here too, all the way to the top, matching the colour of some blurred trees up here in the distance. There we go. And coming down here. Alright, bounce, bounce, bounce. And over here, bounce, bounce, bounce. And then coming down here, where else are we going? A few little colours. And on this log here, just a few. Right. We're almost on our final two shades. Almost on our final two shades. As these last few moments come in here and dominate points of this painting. Where is this going to go? A little bit here. Yeah. Where are we going to go next? Red. Okay. Last two shades. Last two shades. Two shades. Alright, we have got aqua marine blue and sap green. These are the two poppiest ways to get your green and blue. Sap green is so intense. It is the greenest of the greens. We need a bit of that and some feathers up here and some feathers down here and a little bit at the top here. And then the last final blow we make to the painting is with this amazingly poppy blue. See that? That is a polar opposite of that red. We just need a bit of both. Yeah, so that green, its biggest role is over here on three of those feathers. You can see it's The body of the parrot's sort of over this way a little bit right now. It's been waiting for us to finish this little part off. Right, back up. Assess, 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 assess. And then re-engage. Let's do it. Am I in a different studio? That's a good question. There's a couple of studios. This is the beach studio. We haven't been to the crate for a little while, which breaks my heart, because that was cool with the glass windows. And typically, guys, I'm saying we should be outside, but the weather has really been getting in there and slowing me down on doing some fun little escapades like that. Alright, first touch of blue feathers in this parrot, and then a little bit under here. There we go. Just a few little bits. Before I go any further, quick little swap to this brush. Bring on summer? Yeah, agree. Agree. There we go. Perfect. And swap back. Hello, Jessie Lynn. Welcome back in for a round, what is it, 2? And we are almost at the tail end of this picture. As we bounce around like a Kiwi lunatic. So we get the last little finishing touches onto it. There we go. A little bit there, a little bit up here. Whose parrot is this? This belongs to Frank. This is Frank's parrot. Great practice for a fantastic commission we've got coming up for 3 parrots in a row. Right, more blue, tons of blue. Here we go. So now you're going to see raw aquamarine down in this part. That's what I want. Completely uncontrolled aqua marine. There we go. Thanks, Steve. I appreciate that, mate. That's through there. Appreciate that. And pause there with Ono. A little bit at the top here. Lots of that. There we go. Make sure that doesn't run. Perfect. Ooh, the final brush wipe down. Here we go. Her name is Jewel. We're painting Jewel. There we go. And then our last poppy colour. This colour is going to be fun. Here we go. This is our sap green. Our MVP. Coming in here. Bada bing. Boom, boom. There we go. There's a feather there. One there. And one there. And V coming across here. A little bit there. Now, coming down here. There. There. And there. And there. Bang! There is our parrot. Frank, you're an absolute champion. That photo was from you. Really, really fun to play with that. Now, we broke a lot of rules with this picture. We did start with black, yeah, that's fine. We went straight to white, so our highlights happened before the rest of it happened. And then we started playing with the colours. Is that naughty? No. There's no rules. We can just do what we like. Would you consider yourself a street artist? No, the streets would eat me alive. I belong in studios where I'm nice and safe. No, I would paint in the street. I don't like, yeah, gang gang. I'm going to start saying that now. I have the hang of that. Gang gang team. Do you do that with it? I bet they're not doing that with it. I'll stop doing that. There's our parrot. I'll check a shot of him up on social media and TikTok, Instagram, plus the stream. The time lapse, because it's kind of fun to watch the colours go bing, 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 bing. And apart from that, I have to go do dinner. Yeah, this parrot hits. Doesn't have fists, but it hits. So I should say slaps. It slaps. It's got wings. Anyway, I have to go. A couple little jobs. Netflix and dinner is calling me. It's been fantastic to get to spend so much time with you guys. An absolute pleasure. Steve, Jay Smith, thank you for moderating, you absolute champion. Victoria's gone now, but she was here too. That was really lucky. This one here. We've had a real wildlife day. This is the elephant. Bang. We've got our elephant. We've got our parrot. That was really fun. Frank, you're an absolute champion. I'll let you get some sleep. And I will see you guys on the next one. Bye, guys. If I can find the button. There we go. See you guys.